right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to Round Table Wrestling. I'm one of your hosts, Keith the Wildman Miller. And joining us this week, as always, is Pablo Kino Aquino. Did I say your last name right?
Awesome. You did, actually.
Very
Thank
cool.
you very much.
Sweet. And Brent the Nightmare Ward and Chad Big Ton Vandermark is having a few technical issues, but he's planning on popping in here at some point. So let's just kick things off real quick with the news. Brent, what you got for us?
Well, this week, not a whole lot going on, but there is some interesting things going on. We'll kick off things with an unfortunate passing of Kunakai Kobayashi. Kobayashi, I think that's how you say his name. Major wrestling figure in the 80s war between New Japan and All Japan Pro Wrestling. He has passed away at the age of 68. Kind of young.
Yeah. Well, there was an even younger passing in the indie scene, so
yeah,
unfortunately. But yeah, I remember Kobayashi. I remember reading about him on the internet and stuff when the internet was brand new, and I remember the New Japan stuff. You know, like he was in New Japan, right?
Yeah.
I remember seeing some New Japan stuff on tapes when I was younger. So
yeah, he was a pretty good wrestler.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen a few of his things, not a lot though. Like, I didn't get into New Japan wrestling until probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, really. Well, it's funny because when we were kids, at least when I was a kid, I think we're all similar in age, at least. All Japan was the big company, you know, Akira Tao and I can't even think of who else was over there, but Hashimoto, I think, was All Japan guy. Mm-hmm. So All Japan was the big company. Wasn't Tozawa All Japan guy?
I believe so.
Yeah, Hase. So all those guys were All Japan guys, and All Japan was the big company. And then New Japan kind of has taken over the world at this point.
Yeah.
I don't even hear anything about All Japan anymore. I don't even know if it still exists, but I know in the 80s and up until like the mid 90s at the very least, All Japan was the big company, you know, and then Noah kind of came up and New Japan.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the thing about that is that All Japan became real big because Kobayashi was one of the guys that was going against Tiger Mask, and they had bought the rights to Tiger Mask from New Japan, and they had Tiger Mask 2, you know. There were a lot of Mitsuhara Misawa. Yeah. But you know, Jushin Liger, Owen Hart, he had a lot in New Japan. Hase, like you mentioned, you know, like he was a big figure, and 68 is young considering that we have so many amazing talents that are in their 50s right now.
Right.
Like. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
That's rough.
So to the news of, is there any happy news?
Yes.
The top one. Arigato, Kobayashi.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Lucha Bros are set for a blockbuster debut on the main roster.
Okay.
There is no word of when, but it is supposed to happen.
So skipping TNA completely.
Yeah, or NXT.
Yep. Yeah, they are not going to NXT.
That's interesting.
NXT, yeah.
I feel like with the style that they work, it might be better if they did some time in NXT, to be honest.
I agree.
Coming up with like, there aren't a lot of people on the main roster who work that style.
So well, here's the weird thing about. Yeah, I hear that. But here's the weird thing for me is that because if you have Motor City Machine Guns, you would imagine that they would get put thrust straight into the main roster. So them and Lucha Bros going in, I would figure that one of them would start NXT to kind of like ease themselves in a little bit.
Right.
Well, it's weird because aren't the Machine Guns? Their start date is October 1st, right?
Yes, they are October 1st.
So the assumption is going to be Vim and Axiom and Frazier, maybe.
But
on
okay.
the first CW gimmick. That's what I would think anyway. But
they said that they may debut before October 1st, but no later than October 1st.
Okay. See, dude, if Axiom and Frazier, okay, first of all, it doesn't make sense for Lucha Bros to be debuting on the main roster and the Machine Guns not.
Yeah. I don't get it.
But Axiom and Frazier and the Machine Guns, oh my lord, I may have a heart attack watching that match. Honestly,
they'll have some bangers.
The
thing is, though, that's almost a guaranteed loss again for Fraxium.
Yeah.
Considering that they were taking losses to Chase U, they've been taking losses to, they're getting beat up by the Bloodline and beat up by the Street Profits and beat up. They're taking L's upon L's. Like they're
I know it's crazy because I thought when I saw them in the Street Profits, I was like, okay, there's no way Street Profits are winning the belts, so they're going to give Fraser and Axiom this big win, and instead they kind of got dominated by the Street Profits. And they got beat up by the Bloodline. So it's like, these are your champs, man. Like that's not a good look.
Got saved. They got saved by the Bloodline because there was no benefit to putting the straps back on or the straps on the Street Profits in NXT.
Right.
I do see that.
Why even do that? It's the whole thing about you bring down a bigger star to give your upcoming stars a rub, not to beat the shit out of them. Right. It just doesn't make sense, man.
And you have a debuting October 1st or whenever in that area, you have a debuting like massive team, and you're going to, you're not going to have them in a losing effort in their debut. Like you're not gonna have them not go over. So it's
they're going to end up. It's going to be an Ethan Page situation where they just come right in and win the belts.
Because what the Good Brothers thing is that they're gonna go back down, they're gonna look good, but also like lose in a certain faction to where they'll still make the people look strong without making them look like entirely weak, even though a lot of the times it just come off that they seem weak. But I feel like Motor City Machine Guns for the rest of their tenure, like that'll kind of be like a mentorship type thing where I feel like Shawn Michaels is going to take Sabin and Shelly and like they're going to be like, join me and Bobby Roode and Jason Jordan and like let's just build this thing from the ground up, kind of like the Washington Commanders. Like they just take this wreck house, just nobody left from the last regime.
The Washington Commanders had a crappy owner.
They did.
I will tell you for free
that completely screwed up that team.
The things that this man got away with because of his money, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to make a shameless plug.
I mean that's the old man, dude. Legit.
Like JD Souther. You guys know about that guy?
I heard of him, but I don't know what you're talking about.
The guy who owns the Garden. He owns FSG. He's a lunatic, man.
Oh, yeah?
He just has a bunch of money, dude. He makes these blues albums and stuff. Like, he headlines shows at the Garden. And I guess he's done some pretty crazy stuff, like, with Knicks tickets and stuff like that. I don't know the whole deal, but, like, but yeah.
I mean, that legit sounds like the old man, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, Vince lived his life out on TV.
Yeah.
Well, to do some parallels, right? Same thing. Dan Snyder, the former owner of the now former Washington Redskins, my favorite team growing up. He was a rich, like he was a Tony Khan kind of like he was just a fan.
So he was
in his early 30s, like when he bought the team in 91, I think, which was 91, 92. where they were literally like they were just coming off a championship and all of that,
Yep.
and they had a team, and then he felt the need to be the GM, felt the need to be everything, yeah, like the old man, like he was saying, Vince was like, oh, I got a theoretical hard on for this person. Let's shoot him through the roof. He's got big muscles and long blonde hair.
That's what.
Let's put him over. Let's make him, even if he doesn't fit the mold, he fits the description.
Yeah, and that's how Vince was too.
I mean, look at
Exactly.
Brock, look at Goldberg, look at
Yeah.
I mean,
The Warrior.
Warrior. All
Warrior,
he wanted was
Hogan.
big muscles, and
Yep.
and you were a star whether you could wrestle or not.
Exactly.
But that's why when people like CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Kofi, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, like all of these guys, that's why they were Mick Foley even. That's why they were so over, because everybody realized, oh, this person is so good that they had to make a lane for him. Like Bray Wyatt, he obviously had skits about not fitting the mold. And here he is, on top of the world in his hands. Rest in peace, of course. But like he made a way for himself, That's hopefully, well, now that's not a thing anymore, which would be nice to never have to see that again.
Right. I think that in a lot of ways, like the steroid trial actually helped wrestling because they couldn't have the giant guys with the unrealistic bodies on top because it drew too much attention. Like they made a conscious decision to put the belt on Brett so they could be like, "This is our guy. Look at him. He's clearly
Hogan
not on
still had the
steroids."
24-inch pythons.
What's that?
My bad. Hogan still had the 24-inch pythons, and now today people still say or think that all of his say my prayers, take my vitamins was BS because of everything that's happened in the business. I mean,
yeah, but if you think about it, Hogan was off TV for a really long time. He didn't come back until that WrestleMania where he took the belt off Yoko, and that was years later.
Right.
And Savage got regulated to commentary. All of that stuff was in an effort to take the big muscular guys, to take the attention away from them. And you got, like I said, you got Bret Hart as the champ, and he's feuding with Shawn Michaels, a guy who doesn't even weigh 200 pounds.
Right.
And then that opened up to WWF fans at the time what wrestling could be. You know what I mean? Like,
led the way for the Rey Mysterios and all of those other smaller guys.
Yeah. So the steroid trial, as jacked up as it was, like I said, in the long run, may have been good for wrestling.
I mean, Vince got away with everything. I mean, he got pissed at Hogan for testifying against him, but
Hogan didn't even testify against him.
He did.
No, he was one of the ones who was excluded.
What Hogan said was that there were steroids in the locker room, but that he never saw Vince McMahon give anyone steroids or tell anyone that they had to take steroids. So what it was that was another thing with Hogan. They needed a reason to get rid of him. So it became, well, you testified against me, but he actually did not testify against him. So
learn something new every day.
Yeah.
If I could, because you mentioned something about the commentary angle or the commentary with Randy Savage. If I could bring up something that is pretty newsworthy that I figured, apparently that Mall of America show, when Jesse Ventura was supposed to show up, it was, I guess, him foreshadowing that Saturday Night Main Event is coming back, and he is scheduled to be the commentator for it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yes, actually, I just wrote that down.
Is that okay? Well, let's go.
The question is, who's going to be his partner?
All right. You can touch on it. Just because I touched on it doesn't mean you can't also touch on it.
No, I just wrote it.
The question is
Okay.
who's going to be his partner.
That's
Sean
the
Mooney.
big question.
Todd Pettengill. Todd Pettengill.
Yeah.
It damn
Okay.
sure won't be Gorilla.
No,
No,
Oh,
or
it's gonna be
Bobby.
Todd Pettengill
What about
That'd be
Sean
cool.
Mooney?
or Sean Mooney. Yeah, it's gonna be one of them. Either Sean Mooney or Todd Pettengill.
That'd be kind of cool.
just
I
put
wouldn't. I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
put
I mean, we
Total
saw
throwback, man.
Sean Mooney. We saw Sean Mooney on
Bischoff.
on Vice, but I haven't
Mhm.
seen Todd since the early to mid '90s.
Yeah, Todd's doing radio shows in LA, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Just give
Um,
me CM Punk and Jesse Ventura on the same commentators.
That would be
we
good.
dope.
That
need a
would be good.
play-by-play guy though.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
both pretty much the same kind of
Yeah.
like. I'm
They
pretty
just
sure
be doing
CM
character
Punk
work the
probably
whole
got a
time.
lot of his attitude from Jesse Ventura, if you think about
Oh
it.
sure.
yeah.
The way
Yeah,
he
yeah.
would always play off on Vince McMahon, he would always like kind of how Bromby Heenan would like
Give me
every
a
time you
break,
talk to him.
Jesse.
Exactly. Like,
So awesome. But
yeah,
yeah,
I love
Saturday Night's
that
Main Event's
dynamic.
coming
That's the
back,
thing.
baby. And I'm
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
assuming
took
I'm assuming Saturday Night's Main Event will be at the very least a 2-brand show, if not a 3-brand show.
That'd be
Which,
cool.
I
yeah,
hope.
yeah.
I like
They
I'd
tried
like them to even
that back in 07 and bringing back Saturday Night's Main Event just didn't work back then. So
yeah.
what
I
makes
think that was more
anybody
of a
think it's
time
going to
slot
work
issue,
now?
though, right? Like,
Huh?
I think that was more of a time slot issue, though. Like, they got their 3 shows that they were contracted for, and then that was it.
My big
So,
concern with that would be: is it going to be a tape show or is it going to be a live show? Because
yeah, I don't know.
with the PLEs being on Saturday,
Yeah.
that could be a problem.
Well, the thing I liked about the old like Velocity and Heat and all of that is that it was a like a pre-show to the main
Yeah.
events or to the what are they called, PLEs now?
Yeah,
Right.
PLEs.
That is the dumbest name ever.
It is.
Well, I think that could be cool if Saturday Night Main Event became
Yeah.
something like that, where instead
I
of
would
doing the
watch it.
kickoff show that nobody really watches those kickoff shows.
No.
At
Right.
least
I
I
do.
haven't heard anybody be like, "Oh, well, of course we're we're in the business," but
Yeah.
like for the most part, I don't really feel like many people pay attention to like the kickoff shows to where if
Right.
you made an actual show, maybe that'll
Right.
and then yeah, the addition of Jesse the Body, who I've had
Yeah.
to explain to many people who he is in Minnesota, which is so interesting. But
In Minnesota.
He was a governor
Wow.
there.
yeah, like people
Wow.
people that exactly people
That's
don't
Was
crazy.
he
know.
the
Dude.
freaking governor?
Yeah.
I know
He
was.
was the
dude.
governor of Minnesota, yeah.
Dude, what?
They don't even know
That's
who he
crazy.
is. That's funny.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nuts.
he was the first governor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That's
I had to
yeah.
explain. It was like, yeah, man, he was a former like Navy SEAL, and then he was an actor, he was in Predator, and then he was a wrestler as well.
Yep.
And the man, very controversial political pundit as well.
Yep.
Oh, Brett, what is next on your list? Even I took one of them off, but
You're good. SmackDown has a new theme song and introduction.
Oh, it's
debuted
Papa
last
Roach,
night.
right? Is it Papa
Oh.
Roach?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I forget who does their entrance. It's
is it the new Lincoln Park?
no, it'd be kind of cool if it was though.
Okay.
But here's something that I found out. Megan the Stallion, the Stallion,
Megan the Stallion.
said that her WWE debut
Oh Lord.
maybe near.
Oh no.
Not in the ring
She's
though, right?
gotten
I
she
think
might
so.
do a sexy red angle. Oh no. Please no.
I really think that she's gonna be wrestling a little bit, and
Okay,
Bad Bunny
this
did
is
it.
this is oh yeah,
Yeah.
but also Meg the Stallion. If you've kept on Meg the Stallion,
Yeah.
she has that whole Ozempic look, they're saying, where she looks extremely too thin for her body type.
Really?
So I don't imagine. I think that she's just gonna do like a sexy red thing where she's gonna go on there as like a special guest and like twerk for 5 seconds for the camera and Shawn Michaels, and then probably that's it. I don't imagine she's going to wrestle. If she does, God save us all.
Right.
See, so I watched the VMAs
Mhm.
because I watched Big Brother and didn't feel like switching to another,
Turning enough, yeah.
another what you call it,
Oof.
I suppose now.
Program.
And Megan Thee Stallion's pretty thick, man. She didn't look all that skinny to me. I mean, I
Well,
was
how long ago did you see Did you see what recently? The new
yeah,
VMA that
dude,
just
the
came out?
VMAs were Sunday.
Yeah,
Oh,
they were this
Which
past weekend.
Yeah.
actually, the theme song is by her. The new theme song for SmackDown is by her.
so
Interesting.
that's why.
Okay, there you
Okay,
go.
that makes more sense. That
That
makes
makes
more
sense.
sense. But yeah, she'll always
but
be
that's,
thick, but she got much thinner for her body type. That's what I was talking about.
yeah, she was hosting the VMAs. I mean, she looks thinner than she did when she started.
Mhm.
But I mean, she's still not thin, like especially compared to. And I'm not saying I'm saying she's not skinny. Is what I'm trying to say. Like,
She's not
you know,
trying to
Yeah.
say she's fat, but
yeah,
she's not
yeah,
trying to say
not at
she's
all.
skinny
Well, she's
either.
definitely not. She's got it in all the right places, as they say.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Legitimately,
My
I
girlfriend's
thought
in
she was
another
Nicki
room, so we
Minaj.
should definitely talk about something else.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about Meg the Stallion's thickness.
okay, I got some
What else we got?
AEW news to kick on. Swerve Strickland is taking time off and may not even attend Wrestle Dream in December.
Whoa.
What's going on with him?
I
Took
apparently
it.
that match that they had was
Mhm.
pretty legitimately brutal.
He
Oh
took a
yeah,
syringe.
Yeah,
I didn't see it. They used a syringe.
and a
yeah.
cinder
He used
block.
a
He got in
syringe in the inside of his mouth.
Oh,
and that cinder block was legit.
Yeah, it was a real block.
Yeah.
uh, okay. So
AEW's. Yeah.
It was a trashy match.
no one told these
Mhm.
guys that the point is to create the illusion of violence.
Right, not the
Well,
actual
Don't
I
put them
mean,
in.
violence.
Don't put them in.
The glass was real.
I'm hearing that there's a lot of people within the industry that are saying that the Willow Nightingale and Kurt Statlander could be the best women's match ever.
It could be.
It could
I
be.
mean, did
It's
it
pretty
just
good.
Strong
happen
match.
or is it coming up?
No, it happened. It happened it all out.
And it was really good. Chris
Yeah, it was a
Statlander is
straight.
Phenomenal.
Amazing table
great.
spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but a lot of people are shitting on Willow, and I like Willow a lot.
Willow's good. I like Willow. Yeah.
She's good. I
Yeah.
just wasn't crazy about her happy-go-lucky gimmick.
Right.
Well, I mean, then then you got to look at Bailey with
Well,
with
but she
Yeah.
the
also evolved at one point. Like,
Right.
but
Right.
people didn't like her for that either. Like,
Right.
obviously you had the "Hey Bailey, Bailey, I wanna
Right.
know."
yeah.
There's people that liked her and all of that, but
Yeah.
it did get old. Like even
Right.
she said that she was
Well,
like,
I
I
mean,
didn't even
dude,
like it.
look at Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
She's a great wrestler,
she
man.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Technically sound, came in there with legit experience, international experience, and they gave her
Yeah.
that bubble thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know
And
that was
people
dumb as
hated her, and
that was dumb as hell,
she
dude.
couldn't overcome it. And no matter how good her matches were, people would be like, "Oh, she had a banger with Sasha Banks. She had a banger with this girl."
I
No
mean,
one cared.
when she got rid of it, and she got released from WWE and she went to TNA, they
Tennille,
Ring of
still,
yeah.
Honor, she blew up, dude. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Tennille
but
Dashwood was pretty darn good.
Yeah.
yeah.
I still remember people chanting Emma in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
I
I saw
mean,
one
it
match where people were chanting Emma at her and she did the dance. I saw that
did
online. I
she?
thought that was
Yeah.
hilarious. She did the bubble
Yeah,
popping dance, and I was like, right,
nice,
dude.
nice.
That's just like Terry Taylor. When he went back to WCW, people would chant Red Rooster at him and he'd do the neck. He'd do
Yeah,
the neck strut
I
thing.
remember that too.
Yeah. Because why not,
Yeah. Dude,
I
I
do that to
watched
correct my posture every now and then. The rooster.
I think it's funny. Like Terry Taylor spent years complaining about that gimmick, and then he got a role as an agent, and it was like, "Terry, the Red Rooster didn't work because of me." Like he was like, he was like,
You can make
if I
anything work.
hadn't been so resistant to it, it would have gotten over. But he freaking spent years saying, the Red Rooster ruined my career. And then it's just funny. Like
I remember.
how much the money, switches it up.
I know, right?
But yeah, Brent, what else you got, brother?
Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin asked MVPs. I guess the people. It's like the company who
represents him, his agent,
files the trademarks for MVP and his phrases and names.
Okay.
Totally Harmless Concept LLC. They filed the trademark for the Hurt Syndicate, which is probably going to be the faction name in AEW.
Okay, cool.
I'm for it because I think I like all three of them.
Yes.
MVP started to grow on me again. I was a big MVP fan at first, first ever IWGP Intercontinental, but also he grew on me more as an older competitor.
Right.
And Lashley's great. Shelton Benjamin is a freak athlete. If they I imagine they'll add somebody else.
But they should give Leo the mouthpiece
Leo Rush
again.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I would like them. That was one of the things I workshopped when I heard Lashley was on free agency, and I was like, him and Leo Rush again, him and MVP, him and Shelton Benjamin.
Leo's been having some really good matches too.
Just make it work. Put that man on TV.
Huh?
What's Myron Reed up to these days?
Reed?
Yeah, what's he up to these days?
Yeah, actually. Not actually sure.
Yeah.
I like Myron Reed. Talented kid.
I think it was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything more for the news?
That's about it. That's pretty much all that I have.
So Micah Taylor passed away.
Oh no.
47 years later. And he was a big name on the indies and internationally. One of the original OVW guys. He also wrestled in Deep South. Like that's how long he was involved in the developmental system. He's got 2 kids and a wife, and he was pretty young. Really, really solid wrestler. He didn't get a lot of an opportunity. He did some time in WWE, he did some time in TNA.
Former Marine.
Marine. Yeah. But everybody speaks really highly of him. And like I said, watching him, he always kept himself in great shape. He always looked like a wrestler, 5'2", 240, jacked, or 5'10", 240, sorry. And jacked.
Imagine.
Imagine 5'2", 240.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
Be like Ray. Yeah. Be like Ray once he decided to bulk up.
Goodness.
5'10", 240.
Like Sean Shirk back in the just a series of bubbles.
Right.
Oh man.
But just check out some of his stuff with Cassidy Riley. Like they had some really good matches and they tagged together a little bit. For me, that was probably his best stuff. But yeah,
I'd say interestingly enough, he was also a motion capture guy. So he's the person where
he was the video game guy.
Yeah.
That was one thing I remember.
Games, like SmackDown versus Raw and stuff like that. Some of the original
THQ games.
Yeah. So that's really
every
cool.
time you were testing out the moves,
that was him.
Michael Scherer was the one performing them, and he had a head of good.
He looked like a wrestler. He was So
rest in peace.
Thoughts go out to his family, man, for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely, condolences to them.
Yeah. He's Hawaiian, dude. I like that.
I believe so,
Hawaiian wrestlers, man.
Yeah.
Most of them are pretty freaking good.
Oh, yeah. Most of them are top-notch athletes, too. So.
Yeah.
Just
Prince Iakea and what's it called? Ricky Steamboat, Crush, you know,
Yeah.
talented guys.
The
So
only
I
one
wanted
who was
to.
talented, I don't think, was Steamboat's kid. He didn't
The-
make it much out of NXT, I don't think.
yeah, Steamboat's brother was really good, but he never got much burn. But on the Indies, he wrestled up in New England during the
Oh
'80s
yeah.
and '90s. Vic Steamboat.
Oh yeah,
Vic
I
Steamboat was
remember
really,
him.
yeah,
He
Vic
was
Steamboat
fired
was
back
really
then.
good. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
was Ricky Steamboat's legit younger brother. I don't really understand why he didn't get out of New England. It's
Yeah.
weird.
He was fired. I remember him. He
Yeah,
was a dope wrestler.
yeah, it was really good.
Oh, I wanted to ask though. In what order do we want to start
I
giving
was gonna
the results and such?
I was gonna see if you wanted to touch on TNA.
I will, but if I could mention a few from that Saturday Night Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
So the last pod I was talking about the event at Mall of America,
Mm-hmm.
which happened maybe a week ago. So yeah, like the night we recorded. So it was interesting too because I worked a pretty big brewery in Minneapolis, and I had people come up to the food truck, and they were actually talking about the event. They're like, "Yeah, it starts at 7 and all of that. It's going to be great," and obviously, Mall of America, big venue and beautiful. It was amazing to see the tiers of fans just watching, and like 4 floors of like fans just huddled around the middle area watching. Really good poster, Nick Nemeth, Matt Cardona, Danhausen.
Wow.
Danhausen.
It was good.
I like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danhausen.
So the main matches that happened, right? There was Nick Nemeth beat Brandon Gore. Brandon Gore, the product of the Academy in Brooklyn Center. Shout out. Tin Hat Guy, as my friend likes to call him because he's like a conspiracy theorist, whatever. So Nick Nemeth faced a very athletic Brandon Gore, and Nick Nemeth came out victorious. But that's a really big match for Brandon Gore. That's a good
Oh,
rub
absolutely.
because
Yeah.
he's always had a good look, Brandon Gore. He's always had a good wrestling look, and like he's solid in the ring, and he got to go with one of the best in the world. Probably one of
Yeah,
the guys who is go down top 5 best bumpers ever. Like
right.
Yeah.
Right.
makes anything look good. And interestingly enough, an upset a little bit. Mackeyhausen or Mackeyhausen, very cute, very evil. Maki Ito and Maki Ito and Danhausen. And Maki came out with the face paint and everything, and Danhausen looked like shocked, and it was really cute. But Bussy won against
Oh,
them.
nice.
Ali Catch and Effie.
Alley
And I've
catch.
always liked
Yeah.
Ali Catch, yeah.
Yeah,
And Effie. Like they have they've been teaming for a while, but really good mixed tag and
right.
fun match for obvious reasons. Both teams are hilarious.
Yeah,
And Cardona retained against former champion Devin Monroe, so we got some more, you know, title collector. We're gonna see a bit more of him until somebody, maybe Brandon Gore, takes it off him. Who knows?
That's good.
But yeah, that's a rub to the Midwest Indies, Minneapolis Indies. Shout out to Big Opossum, Super Thunderfrog, Jossie, Free Range Kara, all those guys that were on there.
right
Yeah,
on.
good
All
card.
right.
Yeah.
And then yeah, if I don't want to go straight into TNA after that, but I might
Hmm.
probably get it out of the way. Maybe so Chad
Yeah, go
Chad
for
can get some
Yeah, let
naps
me
in.
fall asleep real quick.
All right, just don't snore too hard. All
right.
right.
I'll work on that. I haven't even watched it,
That's all
but I
right.
heard it was horrible.
Jeez.
What was?
TNA.
What was horrible?
TNA was
What, the
horrible.
the episode before or Victory Road?
No, I don't know about Victory Road. I'm talking about TNA this past Impact this past Thursday.
Oh, it was a go home show. It
And
was
it
a
was
pretty much
horrible.
it was getting ready. The next night was Victory Road, so that was the whole thing about it. It was pretty much just so that episode on the 12th was the go home because Friday that next day was the main match. It was Victory Road, the pay-per-view, PLE, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
But it brought up a few other matches like Hammerstone faced Macklin, and then Macklin got saved by Eric Young, and they talked about how they respect each other, and then Hammerstone and Jake something
Hey
uh,
now.
are apparently going to be a team,
Oh,
and
Oh,
big meaty
Hammerstone just
boys.
exactly
yeah.
big meaty boy slapping meat,
Yeah,
and coming off of Hammerstone having a good match with Obafemi on NXT.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so they ended up having a pre-show kind of fight, Victory Road. Otherwise, they talked about Wendy Chu was going to fight Jordan Grace in Jordan Grace's hometown, so that was Victory Road as well. They
Right.
uh they talked about the fact that Cardona pretty much contractually obligated Steph Delander to fight Rhino and PCO on Victory Road. Exactly, right? So her husband and a literal animal.
Yeah.
So but I'll get to, there was a few things on that, but mostly it was just to show you what was going to happen. Uh,
Yeah.
I will mention though, strong Heather Reckless
Oh,
mentionings. A lot. She
awesome.
had a lot of. So first ever match
He's good,
on
man.
NXT. I mean on TNA. First match
Yeah.
on TNA was against a departing Giselle Shaw.
Oh, okay.
Giselle gets slapped by Ash by Elegance, aka formerly known as Dana Brooke. Reckless does the wrecked for the win, which looked
Awesome.
strong. She's a
Yeah.
small girl, but she's got some good moves, and she
Yeah.
does it
Oh yeah.
well. Giselle Shaw was more of she was the powerhouse in the match, but Heather, little girl, lots of intensity. She's good.
Yeah.
Possible heel turn looking
I don't
like
doubt that.
immediate heel. Well, because it looks like Ash and the personal concierge, they're going to give her an elegance makeover because he doesn't
I feel
like
like she's
her
gonna
jean.
reject it, dude. She's gonna be like, I
I
like my
imagine so.
tattoos, and my wildness. So
Yeah, so it's gonna be like a Gigi Dolan Ariana Grace thing where she's like, "No, I want to be this," and they're
yeah.
gonna end up fighting, having a feud, I suppose. But Heather Reckless gets a win in her debut,
Nice.
helps helps Ash by Elegance beat Zaya Brookside, so and like kind of returns the favor. So that's what makes it seem like they're going to be a thing.
Maybe she just doesn't want
First
to owe it,
class lose, yeah,
you know.
probably.
Yeah, maybe it's you got me, I got you, now we're good.
Yeah, now we're even. Yeah, so I don't
Yeah,
need your help and all of that.
right.
I'm new, but I'm not green.
Yeah.
She's a better wrestler than Dana Brooke, Ash by
Yeah, she
Elegance.
is.
So let's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of
yeah.
people are better wrestlers than Dana Brooke.
Well,
If we're
honestly,
being honest, she had the look.
yeah.
Yeah.
TNA has done so much with her though, you know, and they put her in
TNA does, yeah.
matches like her and Zaya Brookside. That's a
Hmm.
perfect person to put her with because Zaya's been wrestling her whole freaking life. That's
Yeah.
Robbie
Yeah.
Brookside's daughter. So,
Hmm.
it's someone who can, and she's small, so she makes
Yeah.
Ash look big, and
Hmm.
uh and
And
she can
Ash is
make
a
sure that
powerhouse.
Ash is terrible. Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
Exactly.
TNA has used her so much better than WWE ever even thought of using her.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I
Yeah.
But that's the way the cookie crumbles, and whenever you leave WWE and you go to somewhere like AEW or TNA,
Mm. I don't know about
Yeah.
the AEW side.
Right.
yeah, me either.
for some of them, not all of
Yeah.
them,
Some.
but for some of them,
Some.
that they make them look real strong, real good. TNA's always been
Yeah. They're
about
really good at
making
that.
stars stars.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
and now from history past, I've seen that anybody that's gone from WWE to TNA and vice versa, whatever fed they're leaving, whatever fed they're going to, the fed they're going to makes them look stronger.
Oh yeah. For
You
sure.
know,
Yeah.
who has left TNA other than
Well, Naomi went to
AJ?
TNA and became immediate champion, right?
Right. No,
And
I'm
she
saying
was
who has
big.
left TNA and gone to WWE other than
Al-
AJ.
Austin Aries.
Yeah, they buried.
They
Yeah, they
buried him,
did.
dude.
Well,
They
that's the
buried
thing
him.
about it, because I don't think that that's true vice versa. Because
Right,
when you
right.
said vice versa, I was like,
The only person I can think of who started in TNA and came to WWE and was strong was AJ.
but
I think
AJ
AJ,
also
everyone else
had
yeah.
got.
years upon
Well, I
years.
mean,
Samoa
Yeah, but you
Samoa
can't
Joe.
bury
all
AJ
right.
Styles. You know what I mean? That's silly.
Yeah.
Right.
And even if they do the pipeline from
Bobby
TNA to
Roode.
WWE, it's usually TNA to NXT.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
buried
right.
Bobby too.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
wasn't taught. I
they
wasn't
could bring
taught.
some fun stuff. He was towards the end of his career, but
I wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily talking about starting. I'm talking about like, okay, look at Drew. All right, Drew was part of the clique with Heath and Jinder,
Right.
and basically got fired. And then
Yeah.
he went to TNA and they made him look like a monster.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Same
wait.
with Bobby. Same with Bobby Lashley.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say though, Drew Galloway, Drew McIntyre, like he didn't always have a good time. He tried to do a faction with Tongaloa and like one other person, like so he had to struggle. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, if we're going by history, for the most part, every single WWE wrestler goes to TNA and
Yeah.
balls out
Christian
because it's
Cage.
just
I was just going to
one.
say, I think Christian's time in TNA is what really solidified him as a legendary wrestler.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Um,
That I agree with.
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
Christian. He's one of my favorite guys ever.
he's doing
He's
his
always
best
Kurt,
been.
work
I
right
know
now.
that.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah. I
Kurt
think
Angle,
Angle
Bobby
was
Lashley, you can
already,
go. You
yeah.
can go
Kurt
like
Angle is
like
already a big name and a star.
Mhm.
I think if Angle was wrestling on Indies
I
in
got you one.
Pittsburgh, people would be like,
wow.
"This guy's amazing."
I got
That
you
would've
one.
been wild.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe had to go to NXT though. That's what I'm saying
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
going straight to
And what
WWE.
did WWE really do with Joe? You know?
nothing.
Well,
Yeah.
they had
He
him
never got the
champion
big
at one
strap.
point.
He was from what I understand, because I didn't watch all that much, which you guys know. I don't watch NXT, but from what I understand, Joe was injured a lot, and when he wasn't, they jobbed him out
Right.
until
He's
they
a he's
realized.
also he's a two-time NXT champion, so he went back down
Yeah.
after and won again, kind of like how Finn
Right.
Balor did it and
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler
Yeah.
went down. But
See, that's the thing.
speaking of knockouts, right? Oh,
Yeah.
I'll let you.
Go ahead.
You made me a
Okay.
sidekick.
No, speaking of the pipeline, right? So WWE dropped the ball on Xia Li.
Yes, big time.
Yeah.
Just made her promo
She's-
debut on TNA.
She's a ninja, dude.
Yeah, like she's got the whole Raiden look, and
Yeah.
like she
But
cut
she
a
was-
promo in her language.
Yeah. I mean, even like her moves, dude, she does stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
where did that even come from? You know what I mean? Like she just it's just pretty amazing to watch. Like super innovative, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Because I think
TNA needs to
NXT.
get on a better network, man.
Yeah, I hear that. No, NXT WWE, they're the big time. So anytime, and it's almost weird because it makes TNA look like the second tier down, because
Right. 'Cause it's like these guys
every
couldn't
time they
make it
get
there.
somebody,
Yeah.
yeah, like they get Deonna Purrazzo and she's immediately like a good champion where she was nothing in WWE. They
But
get
Deonna Purrazzo
Trinity,
is so good.
and Trinity becomes literally like a world beater and becomes like the best
Yeah.
women's champion they ever had and all of that.
Well, dude,
Like,
Christian was beating Sting. You know what I mean? Christian,
Mhm.
when he was the NWA champion, was beating Sting.
I know.
You know, and they would have never done that in the WWE.
Oh no.
No.
Oh yeah, of
Like
course.
if it was
Of
I
that
course
mean,
not.
come
time in
on.
reversed, if Sting came into the WWE, he would have been whooping
Mhm.
Christian all over the place. So
I mean, come on.
Hmm.
Triple H had to get his ego off and beat Sting at Mania. Now everybody
Yeah.
knows.
Mhm.
Everybody
Yep.
knows, or everybody should know, in my opinion, that Sting could have won that match and nothing would have been No, Triple H wouldn't have taken a hit on his career or anything.
No, he wouldn't have.
I hear that.
Sting's terrible, dude. I'm sorry. Sting is the worst legend in the history of wrestling, other than like Andre the Giant.
Oh man.
Dude, I'm sorry. Sting only had good matches because of Ric Flair.
No,
I'm
well,
sorry.
you're not lying, okay?
You're not lying.
If you watch
He
his
had to
other
come up with that
stuff,
gimmick.
if you watch his
Yeah.
other stuff, it's all mediocre, man. You know?
Yeah,
Like
his finishes, his move set isn't really that good. DDP
Right.
is better than him.
yeah, and when
in
he was
every way.
working with Flair, he was horrible. Like Super
Mhm.
Young Sting was not a good wrestler.
Oh, the
You
face
know?
paint, not the crow,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like the
Flair just
yeah,
saw
I
this
gotcha.
kid with this body, and he was like, we can
And
make
that's
some
how-
money with him. Give him to me.
Mhm.
Well, again, back to what we were stating earlier, a lot of the wrestlers in the 80s were built
Mhm.
upon their body style.
Yeah.
Look,
No.
Lex
It wasn't
Luger,
their
all of them,
talent.
Kurt Hennig.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
well, Kurt Hennig was very talented, but like,
Yeah.
you know what
And
I'm
so
saying? If you looked
Yeah.
the route, if you looked the part, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the cool thing about wrestling now. Like, look at all these people that were on the this card, like Cornball Bailey. Like he's not a real
Yeah.
big guy. He's like a small little. I'll, I'm gonna try to get through as fast as possible because I don't like taking up so much of this time with TNA. I want to hear some WWE stuff. Like I've been catching up so much on TNA that I've kind of lost track of where
Yeah, dude. And
where the dubs
NXT,
are.
NXT is getting so good, man.
It's so
TNA is
good though. It
garbage,
really
so
is.
I understand how you would get tired of it.
I am no. I am going to change your mind, and everybody else that's listening, we're going to change your mind. TNA is the best it's been in a long time.
I can agree with that.
Dude,
I think
And I'm saying, man.
I think I'm gonna tell you what. Let's see. I think you're smoking something you're not sharing.
Well, I'm not sharing with you. That's for sure. I'm smoking on that TNA pack, that Victory Road.
All right, what do we got
All
going
right,
on?
I'm gonna mention Victory Road
Okay.
because aside from the Hardys beating First Class and
Yes.
some other like stuff like that, yeah. So Victory Road came and it was real good. I would say it was a real good card. They started to build more of the card after a while. I hear him laughing in his sleep because he knows, but it's okay. So interesting thing, right? So Mike Bailey, after this match, grew on me a bit more because, like I said, he's a mixture of Jason David Frank and Johnny Cage, and he just seems like a cornball. That's why I call him Cornball Bailey. But his intensity, his moveset, like his fighting during this, how crazily good he does his poison ranas, super fast paced match with Zachary Wentz. This is awesome chance. All beat him with the Flamingo driver. New champion Mike Bailey
That was
beats
unexpected.
Wentz.
Yeah, that's a short
Well,
reign.
for me, I think. Well, I know, right? Really short reign, like a week.
And that's, dude, but that's awesome.
That's crazy.
I never would have saw that coming.
I
Never
didn't
would've saw that
expect
coming.
Bailey to win the title back.
That's awesome.
Well, it's hard but the thing is, though, I think one, they want Wentz to do something more with Wesley and Trey Miguel
Mhm.
because this is the thing that was interesting. The reason why they didn't fight for the NXT titles and then the Street Profits took over for them is because something mysterious happened to Trey Miguel.
Right.
And what I think it is that Trey is turning and they
Could
want
be.
Wentz against Miguel.
Ugh.
Oh, that'd be
And
good.
you don't need the title on Wentz when he has a built-in storyline like this,
Right.
where Trey Miguel might leave.
Yeah.
And like there might be like he had a good match with Wesley. Why not have another match with them?
Yeah.
They've had matches against each other before, but as friends, but like not as enemies, like
Enemies,
they've literally
right.
had trio matches where they all fought each other and they were like, oh, we respect each other, we're just gonna fight. But
Yeah.
but Mike Bailey, heel Mike Bailey, I like him. He has 3 or 4 Ultima X, the Flamingo driver, like the he can win the match in multiple ways, and yeah, he's growing on me. Interestingly enough, there was a no contest because Steph DeLander announced her neck surgery, and she's been wearing a scarf for a while. So she pretty much said it's not bye, it's I love you, and she walked off with PCO. And instead of having the match, it was just a nothing. And then Rhino, who as a gentleman, held the ropes open for her. Cardona kicks the rope and hits him in the groin, and then like does the radio silence on him. So pretty much had, classic narcissist, had to make a good feeling moment about him. So it's going to be him against Rhino at some point, but
awesome.
And then PCO for the titles. But aside from that, Hendry has turned the corner, and he has finally become an actual threat for the title, because he had a very, very intense, like he pretty much showed his intensity. Like he started being less of a gimmick and more of like a take me seriously type thing. He faced and beat the Walking Wiener, which
nice.
Which he referred to Josh Alexander, the Walking Weapon, as the Walking Wiener, aka Kurt Angle from Wish.
That is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
I saw the memes. I guess that's where they came from. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the night before, probably it was he was shooting on Josh Alexander and pretty much showing, hey, if I want to be considered a big person in the title scene, I have to beat the longest reigning champion, and he did, and he beat him as Chad yawns. He looked believable, he looked powerful, he looked strong, and yeah, he's gonna be taken seriously from now on, and
good.
Possibly he'll face Nemeth soon, or whoever beats Nemeth, who knows. Jordan Grace against Wendy Chu, Jordan Grace's hometown. Jordan Grace wins. Wendy Chu is creepy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Rosemary spears her, and then or spears Jordan Grace at the end, and Wendy Chu puts her to sleep, but Jordan Grace wins. She won in the end. I'm just saying afterward. Apparently, Rosemary's
they're gonna go into Rosemary. Yeah, they're gonna move to Rosemary.
Yeah. Wendy Chu, I like her. I thought it was silly, her gimmick about the nap time and her having a sleeper hold, but like she's actually athletic. She's 5'2" to Jordan Grace's 5'3", so it was an interesting match. It was
unlike Sol Ruka or Sol Ruka, who
Sol Ruka
is 7'6".
That's like this TNA report putting
that match is so awkward.
It's awkward because she's so lanky. Like Sol Ruka's so lanky, and she looks more like a gymnast than she does a wrestler, and a lot of her she botches a decent amount for as many good moves as she does.
She's got some nice moves though, man. If she can perfect her craft, she'll be definitely someone to watch.
Yeah,
for sure, and she has a good look. Nice. There was a nice random segment, Santino and Ariana.
Oh.
So father-daughter.
Father-daughter,
she hints into wanting, and this was after the Grace match, so she's hinting on Ariana Grace versus Jordan Grace at some point.
Oh.
And Santino can teach her the Cobra.
Exactly.
You can't lose, dude. If you know the Cobra.
Santino's
the Cobra
amazing.
Is an undefeatable move.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
She teaches him the Cobra. He teaches her the Cobra. It's over.
No, it's over.
And since the Claymore got kicked out of, it's now the most protected finisher ever.
Indeed.
So okay, here's one more thing before the main, but Spitfire, who was in Do or Die, as in win or break up as a tag team, Jody Threat and Danny Luna, against Militia, which Alicia Edwards still has the neck brace, so taking her place was the Boricua badass Tasha Steelz.
Nice. I like Tasha.
Tasha and Masha. Tasha and Masha against Spitfire. Spitfire wins.
Okay.
So, and they win in a good fashion, like it was a strong match, and so Jody Threat and Danny Luna are the tag champions now.
So
Oh, nice.
Is Tasha a TNA girl or was that just a one off?
Oh no, she's been
Has
a
she been
TNA
there?
girl with
Okay, I
Kiera
didn't realize.
Kiera
She's been
Hogan,
a
and
TNA
Yeah,
girl.
I don't.
she's fought a lot with Jordan Grace this year for the title and all of
Okay,
that, and she's
I don't
tried to be
watch a
in
lot
there.
of TNA. So, but Tasha
That's all
Steeles.
good.
I've seen her indie stuff. She's very good.
She's a good
No,
wrestler.
Yeah,
her
that's
and
awesome.
Kiera Hogan were actually good champions, and like she was strong, and she has a. I just don't like the gimmick though,
Yeah, I like
but
the
she's good.
glasses.
Okay, and the last thing I mentioned, which I think Chad will wake up from his sleep for this, but Moose versus Nick Nemeth, amazing. I think they tore the house down. Nick Nemeth can make anybody look devastating, but it's easy to make. It's not hard to make Moose look like a monster because he already is. Uh,
Right.
Good power bomb. He had one of the most devastating power bombs onto a table I've ever seen in any match. Moose like tearing Nick Nemeth apart. Amazing power bomb reverse into a famouser for a close 2 count. That was the thing that literally got me out of my seat. Reversing a power bomb into a famouser is amazing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty
But
cool.
lots of interference. JDC and Alicia coming out, and then Santana fending off JDC, and then the which for a reason I'm gonna mention it just quickly. The new tag champions, the System, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, because they got their rematch and they won, so they're now the champions. The male tag champions. They beat ABC because ABC got, they fought the night before against First Class, so made them still look strong. They were going to get into the match and they were going to cost Nick Nemeth until John Layfield comes and absolutely demolishes them.
JL Audio.
John Layfield with his cowboy boots comes and almost clotheslines himself out of his own boots.
Mm.
So
He punched them. What's up?
is JBL going to be working?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll either be some sort of like authority figure or some sort of like mentor to Nick Nemeth because
Well, no, that's
he
what I
did it
mean. Like,
in.
is he actually going to wrestle? Is what I'm saying. Like, is
Yes.
he?
From what
Oh,
I
I
under, from what I heard, he's supposed to wrestle. I don't know when. I don't know how
He's
often,
60.
but I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how I feel about that. He
Mm.
he delivered some tremendous looking clothesline from Hell's.
I mean, hey,
Hey,
He
Steamboat and him.
punched Eddie. Yeah. What happened?
Well, Steamboat and Muda and all of them had some matches not too long ago.
And
yeah.
they all look
Yeah.
like shit.
Billy Gunn, Sting.
Steamboat's match with
All of them.
Jericho was really good.
Well, it's Jericho also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steamboat had
Exactly.
some really good matches with Jericho.
Jericho could wrestle a cardboard cutout of Christian. It would be good.
Yeah, you're right.
For real.
But yeah, like John Layfield comes in and he knocked them out like it was one of those migrants from that Eddie Guerrero gimmick. Literally, he's like, "Get out of here!" Boom. He's just like, and then Nick Nemeth ends up beating him with the danger zone, I think he calls it, which is the zigzag. So Nemeth wins clean on Moose. Well, as clean as it
Nice.
can be
My favorite part.
Moose wasn't messed with, but yeah.
My favorite part of that match is finding out Mouse is going to retire after its contract is up.
Oh, Moose?
Yeah.
Why is he going to retire? I thought he was going to go to
It was so
NXT.
good. Why would that be your favorite part of the match?
Because Moose is going to
Because
retire.
he's
But
a
this is
hater. It's okay.
good.
I hate Moose.
It's his gimmick. It's his gimmick. It's okay. But it
Yeah.
looks like it might be Nick Nemeth against Frankie
So good.
Kazarian because he was on
Moose.
commentary.
Hmm.
Interesting. Well, I don't mind it because they're obviously going to keep it on Nick Nemeth, but they want to make him
I
look
love
strong. So
Kazarian. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
oh,
I love
he's doing
Kazarian.
well.
Yeah.
He had a resurgence and he
I
but
think
yeah.
I think at this point, Kazarian and Daniels both look like old men now. So it's
I
kind
agree.
of yeah. So it's kind of like
It's amazing.
whenever they
It's
wrestle, I'm
amazing
like,
to think about.
they look like they're about to, fall apart, but they're both still really good.
I remember Kazarian on wrestling on Velocity.
Right.
For real.
Oh,
My
yeah.
goodness.
Kazarian's been around, man. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
I remember
these
watching Samoa Joe wrestle on Velocity
Yeah.
mhm.
and AJ Styles.
I remember watching Kennedy wrestle on Sunday Night Heat.
For real.
There you go.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Was it
Kamikaze Ken.
I look for him.
wasn't that in Ithaca when we were living together? I think I saw that match with you.
No,
I look for
maybe. I don't know. I just remember he had a match. I think it was with Val Venus.
Yeah.
Ken Anderson to make a Royal Rumble
No.
surprise entry.
If
Well,
he does, he should
hopefully.
make sure that he wears a shirt from his school.
For real.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, give some rub. You know,
Yeah.
I always have them on my Instagram, so they always pop up, and they have they have classes here and there starting up, and I'm so just tempted, right?
Bro, if you've got a few bucks, man,
Yeah.
hop in
Well,
there.
it's
Do it.
just all
Hey,
the
you
all the
got
concussions from football and boxing and wrestling. Like I get
Yeah.
worried about it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Maybe. Who knows?
This is my memory. I was gonna make some stupid comment about a wrestler I saw last night who looked like a taller version of Hornswoggle.
Oh, geez.
Huh?
I can't remember who the
Taller
hell it
version.
was.
Was it Joe
Something.
Hendry? Because that's, fair.
It
Don't
might
say
have
his
been.
name, he'll appear.
I mean, I like that.
Actually, I think you're right, Keith. I
I like
think you're
that.
right. It was.
Well, yeah, because Joe Hendry has the brown beard and the blonde hair like
Yeah,
Hornswoggle used to
Mhm.
have. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
funny.
that's the
Okay.
only wrestler I could think of. I mean, that's a fair.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
So,
So I was gonna
yeah.
mention aside from the most important things to take from that pay-per-view or that
Is nothing. Is that it's over.
Oh, come
no,
on,
no,
man.
it was a great one. I'd say
Come on.
the things to take from it is that Joe Hendry means business now. You know,
Yes,
Nemesis is
sir.
good. Jordan Grace is a monster. Jordan Grace's
Right.
grandma made an appearance
Oh,
and helped her.
so they were in
helped her.
Texas. For some reason,
Yeah,
that just clicked in my head that they were in Texas. Like it took this whole
Keith,
time. All
Keith,
right, go ahead.
it was funny. Yeah,
that's why dude said it was in their hometown.
Right. I was like, oh, Jordan
Like
Grace is
4
cool. They
times.
were in Texas. Yeah.
San Antonio. Yeah, San Antonio.
Yeah.
They were
Cool.
in.
Awesome.
But Jordan Grace's grandma
surprised
saved
That's
her.
good shit.
I'm surprised HBK didn't make his presence felt
Right.
there.
Or ACH.
Well, I was gonna say,
ACH is from
considering
Texas,
that
too.
Jordan Grace, yeah,
Yeah, I know.
And him
I've
and
been
Jordan,
trying to
didn't him
find
and Jordan used
ACH
to date back in the day?
I've been trying to find ACH forever and I
You're right,
can't.
yeah.
Oh, he's done, dude. He's got no interest in wrestling
oh
anymore.
man,
Yeah.
I remember I liked ACH.
Me
but,
too.
Me
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, he doesn't have it for it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It was good.
I used to
He
do
was good
indie
on
shows
indies.
with him. I used to do
WWE.
indies with him a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, her grandma kept her from getting hit with the devastating body pillow.
Aw. So sweet.
How special.
Wendy Choo's really.
Like,
I know, right?
Look at that.
It's cute though. It's
Yeah.
it's the gimmick is going on me. But yeah, Cornball Bailey being a better heel than a face. Hendry getting serious and looking like a world beater. And
Heck yeah.
we're gonna see some good stuff and possibly Wentz versus Miguel one day. But yeah, that's my spiel. That's my spiel
Cool.
of the TNA. So y'all
Awesome.
can
All right.
wake up for the rest.
So, what's up, brother?
Here's my pledge. If I can fast forward through TNA in like 7 minutes, then I'm gonna do my damnedest to watch NXT. It's on the
Okay.
DVR.
Okay,
It's on
so
the DVR.
speaking
Watch
of
the highlights
NXT,
on 1.5.
Go for it, Keith.
speaking of
NXT,
NXT, I mean, we've already talked about it a little bit here because I mean,
Mhm.
NXT is ramping things up going on into the CW show. They are
Yeah.
they're really pulling
Well,
out
I mean, they got
all
Punk
stops.
coming in. They got Randy coming in.
Well, I'm not even talking about the guests who they have lined up for that show. I'm talking about these shows that they're doing leading up to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the Street Profits came down and had a match, with the tag team champs, and it was a good match for what it was. But personally, I think
It
it
was
should have.
garbage.
No, it wasn't garbage, but it should have been used to make Axiom and Frazier look stronger.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, mind
Especially if they're
you,
going to go wrestle the Machine Guns after this.
I have
Yeah.
no idea who any of these people are on NXT. So if I sit here and go,
You gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch it, man.
then
Yeah, man, it's strong stuff, man. It's good stuff.
The
Yeah.
stuff with Ren Sinclair and the Catch Quarter Club. It's
No quarter catch
Catch,
crew.
no
Yeah,
quarter
quarter
catch
catch
crew.
crew.
Yeah, there we go. It's so good because
Tavion Heights came back.
Charlie Dempsey is a
Mhm.
coward, basically,
Yeah,
and really just wants to walk around with the cup. He doesn't want to defend it, but she keeps
Right.
on putting him in these matches, and he still
Mhm.
figures out a way to win. And the matches are good because Charlie Dempsey's so good, and so it's just like it doesn't matter really who she ends up throwing him in with, and that kid, that Javon kid. He's got it, man.
Javon
He's gonna be
Evans.
Javon
special.
Evans.
Yeah.
Javon
Such
Evans.
good
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
good.
he's gonna be special, man.
Yeah. Javon's really good.
Yeah,
If
him
I
and
could-
Charlie
if I
Dempsey
could-
had a great match. Yeah, go ahead.
If I could, just a second.
Yeah.
Just to bring it a little bit back to TNA, Charlie
Okay.
Dempsey had a very good match and won against a reeling Jonathan Gresham.
Awesome.
That's a big win.
So those
Yeah.
two, that's one of the most amazing technical matches you could ever think of. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
Tavion Heights coming in and helping him, and I think No Quarter Catch Crew has actually grown on me, and they're good.
They're good.
NXT is good. They did a good job, but I think obviously we had the NXT Black and Gold era and then
Right.
the 2.0, which
I hated
but I think they are picking up steam, and they're going to light the CW on fire.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. So we also touched a little bit on Jordan Grace and Saul Ruka.
Mhm.
That match was really awkward.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did the best that they could for what they had. Jordan took a lot of Saul's offense, like a lot more than I expected. And then she ended the match, getting choked out by Wendy 2 with Rosemary screaming in her face. So that was an interesting setup for what was going to happen in TNA.
Yep.
I think
Same exact thing happened after the match.
Yeah, I think that match could have been. They could have chose a different opponent for her who wasn't so big and so green. But I mean, it was better than it had any right to be. Chelsea Green and Julia. I mean, man,
That's
That's gonna be
so good, so good. Yeah. I'm not, I hate that I'm just like, gushing over all this stuff, but man, Chelsea Green and Julia. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. If you don't like women's wrestling, it could very well make you like women's wrestling because they're two of the best women wrestlers on the planet Earth.
And when was this match last week at NXT?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. Tuesday.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Like the middle part of the card.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm jumping all over the place, dude. I'm not doing I'm doing it from memory. I didn't write anything down. So.
No, I figured you weren't going in order. I wouldn't do that shit either.
I was more time stamping it for him just in case he wanted to skip.
Just in case he wanted to go back and look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green is good at doing bumps. She makes anybody look good.
Yeah, she's so good. She's so good, man. She's so good. And we touched on Hammerstone being there. For those of you who don't know this, which would be probably the majority of you, I have been a Hammerstone supporter for, I don't know, like 6 years, for long before he was anywhere near TV, like before he was ever even on MLW, like when he was doing indies in Arizona. And
really?
Yeah, dude. It's funny because every time I scare
any indie, I'd never seen any of his indie stuff or anything.
Yeah, he was an Arizona guy for years. Arizona, Vegas, worked some in Oklahoma.
Yeah, he's good. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Could I ask a question?
No.
Oh, thank you. Is he going by Alexander Hammerstone or is he
No,
just going by
Alexander Hammerstone.
Hammerstone? He
I
is
What's
thought it
that?
going
was
by that?
just. I
Yeah,
thought it
yeah.
was
He's
just
going by
Hammerstone.
Alexander Hammerstone. Yeah.
Well, in
Yep.
TNA he's Hammerstone, but I think
He's
he's
just
going as
Hammerstone.
something else. Okay,
No,
all right.
Alexander Hammerstone has been his gimmick for the whole
And
time I've been following him.
in
But
MLW, it was just Alex Hammerstone, I believe.
right, right. But
Yeah.
anyway, like seeing him show up, and he's had a couple of tryouts with the
Mhm.
WWE,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, and he's always left with stuff that they wanted him to improve. So
He's
just
blonde
seeing him
Brian
show,
Cage.
what's that? Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But you know,
That's kind of how I see it.
yeah. But seeing him show up on NXT and have that match with Obi was really really cool, and I think that it showed because this is the thing when he was on the Indies, Hammerstone would bounce between 215 and like
Mhm.
260
Oh wow.
because he
Well,
would go after cruiserweight titles and he would cut weight.
Mm,
He's also a professional bodybuilder. So, I mean, he was used to cutting weight. So he would
I
cut
can see
weight
that.
and go after cruiserweight titles. So the guy can bump, you know? And I think that he showcased that in that match, that he's not just a powerhouse. You know, I mean, he bumped around real good. He took the moves well. He still got a lot of his stuff in. And obviously, I wish he had won because I've been a Hammerstone fan for a long time, but he wasn't going to win. You know,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I was happy that he was on there, man. Like legit, I was just so proud to see him on there after supporting him for so long. And I mean, I know who am I, you know what I mean? But still, it felt like a win, you know,
All
for
right.
somebody who's been waiting for
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
huge thing to happen for him. Like, you know, I've been waiting for it for so long. It seems like,
Yeah,
He's
he's
got a good look and he's strong. He's a good
yeah,
wrestler, you know.
so strong.
the match
Yeah,
with him and Eric Young at the TNA pay per view before this last one.
Emergence?
Not Emergence, the one before.
Oh, okay. No.
Uh,
It was a good match too. It was.
it
I
was really
saw that
good.
one.
It was a pre show match. It was really good.
Mhm.
That's why
Yeah.
he's
But
on a
him
pre-show.
but him Hammerstone and something, I could see them
That would
oh
be a
yeah,
being
yeah.
something.
They're gonna
You know
be
what
a
I'm
killer
yeah. They're
team.
going to be something.
Yeah.
saying?
TNA champs for tag team champs for too long. Calling it now.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
So,
Well, yeah.
so to me, Thea Hale is like my hyper little
Mm.
sister,
Yeah.
and if Ridge Holland upsets her one more time,
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Jump
dude,
through
he
this
beat up Chase
TV.
U by himself. He beat up, he beat up the whole
Yeah.
freaking. He beat up
Yeah.
everybody.
Mm.
Like that's
Yeah.
just insane. You know, like they're really, really they're obviously trying to make him look ridiculously strong
Yeah.
going into the
Mhm.
CW. I don't know what their plan is for him, but he beat up the whole freaking team. Like he beat up everybody. You know,
Well, next
Andre.
next is Riley Osborne, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I kind of figured.
yeah. So we'll see where that goes too. But man, I hate it when Thea Hale's sad. I just want to be like, it's gonna be okay, kid. You know. So so that
Oh
so
man.
yeah, that was upsetting to me. No, I didn't.
I think she's good. She's like I said, grown on me. She's a good actress.
Yeah, she's so good. I mean, she gets my sympathy. You know.
Expressive, all of that.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think the last thing that went down was the main event, which was Trick Williams and Pete Dunne beating the living hell out of each other.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it was so good. Those guys are both stars, man. And after saying that he didn't care who won, and this is coming off memory, but didn't Ethan Page actually help Trick Williams win the last man standing match at the end
I'm
of
pretty
it?
sure, yeah.
He did
Well,
something
he
to take Pete Dunne out, right?
Yeah.
mhm. He tried, but from what I believe happened, I think he tried to hit him. He tried the hit trick as he got up. He was like, he kept Pete Dunne down after like a big spot that they had
Right.
had,
Right.
and then like he had helped him just to like knock him out after, but then
Gotcha.
Trick reversed it and pretty much like hammered him with
So
the
he
knee.
was trying to
And
take Trick out and took Pete out. Is that what
yeah,
happened? Gotcha. Okay.
well, because Trick used two trick shots on him,
Right.
and like like they were taking devastating like
Yeah.
spots, but
Yeah, they were. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I believe you were
So
right about that. He tried to help him and then like be like psych, and then it
right.
backfired on him. So
Right.
it'll be what
Trick and
Trick against
Trick and Ethan
Ego
Page is the main. Yeah.
for
And
CW event. All right.
yep. And Julia is wrestling Roxanne.
Ooh.
So
Roxanne.
yeah.
Ooh.
I really hope Roxanne wins the first match. Not gonna lie.
You don't think it's early?
I don't
You
have a
don't think it's
problem
early
with
for that?
Julia.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I hope Roxanne wins the first match.
Mm.
If they just put the belt on Julia, like uh, I think
It would
Roxanne
diminish. Yeah.
the whole everything she's done. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that whether it's outside interference or cheating or whatever, um, I think Roxanne needs to win that first match. But so this has kind of got me thinking about because I was just thinking who else could interfere in the match, what could go on. I
Mhm.
did want to talk for a second about intergender wrestling. Um,
Okay.
because Delta's coming in, and Delta has wrestled more men than she has women in her career.
Right.
She's actually held men's titles in Germany. She's from Germany or Australia? Sorry,
Australia. Yeah, it's
some of
Australia.
the country. Yeah, from Australia. So, and the PWI 500 just came out, and there's a bunch of girls in the PWI 500, which this is the first year that they've done that.
Yeah.
Um,
Glad they are.
yeah. So my big thing is, other than China, WWE has never really showcased intergender wrestling. Like they're one of the last companies that still does mixed tags.
Yeah.
Where like the
Yeah.
woman gets tagged, the other woman has to come in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm wondering now if that's going to change because they do have Delta coming in and she's competed with men. Like that's what she's done.
Right.
It's risky.
Personally, I kind of think it's time. Every place else does intergender stuff.
I mean, I
It's
honestly think
huge on
they
the
need to.
indies.
Honestly, I think they need to let Rhea do that. I was
Right.
just
And
getting
I
caught
think they're
up.
leading to that too. Like I think Rhea and Damian Priest could win the tag belts.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
for
so
sure.
too.
So
I was watching. I'm trying to get caught up on some stuff because I didn't have cable, and I just actually watched Bash in Berlin,
yeah.
and they should have let Rhea beat the shit out of Dominic.
Yeah.
Like for
Well,
real,
how
dead
many
But
ass.
she
again, it was a mixed tag. It wasn't an intergender.
Right.
Exactly.
Like I said, WWE is one of the last places that still
I
does mixed
mean,
tags.
Oh, yeah.
back in the day, back in the '90s, when China just came out as Triple H's bodyguard,
Yeah,
China
Mhm.
fucked them up.
yeah.
There's
And she
Like
ended up
for
winning the
real.
Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
She beat
there's
Jeff
a
Jarrett
Mhm.
for the Intercontinental title,
She beat
Then lost to
Jeff
Eddie.
Jarrett and Chris Jericho, didn't she?
Yeah, yeah. I think she did.
Wasn't it a
Yeah.
triple threat?
Oh, yeah. You're right. It was a triple threat when she won the belt, and then she did the
Wasn't it
rematch.
the Big Valboski or Jeff Jarrett? They didn't want to lose to a woman,
Jeff.
so like
It was
he
Jeff
lost
Jeff
it.
Jarrett. It was
It
Jeff
was
Jarrett.
Jeff.
So what happened with Jeff Jarrett? He did not want to lose to China.
Right.
So his
Remember that
contract
story.
was about to expire,
Mhm.
and the office overlooked it, and he didn't say anything. And
Okay.
his contract expired before their Good Housekeeping match,
Mhm.
the day before. So he
Wow.
said, I'll do this big match that you guys have been pumping up, and I'll do this pay per view, and I'll put her over, but you have to give me $1 million. So they paid
Mhm.
him $1 million to do one match, and then he went to TNA.
Wow. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's in the Indies, man, intergender matches are everywhere.
Right. Right.
One of my favorite
Oh, yeah.
teams is that do intergender is the Production.
Yeah.
Katie Arquette and Derek Dillinger.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
They're fantastic.
I love Katie Arquette. Yeah, she's a talented
She's
girl.
really good.
Yeah.
She looks like Britt Baker. No kidding.
Right. Right.
I'm sorry.
Chris Statlander, who we talked
She's
about
another.
earlier, all of her matches were with men before she signed to AEW.
Megan Bain.
Yeah. So
like
honestly,
the aforementioned Jordan Grace.
For the people who think that it, promotes violence against women or that it's not realistic. First of all, it doesn't support violence against women because these women are defending themselves. It's a fight. They're not getting beat. They're not getting beat on. It's a fight, and a lot of the times they're coming out on top.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're legit. They want to be seen as legitimate contenders. And they should.
Right. And
I legit didn't see anybody whooping China's ass, dude. Like for real.
Yeah,
she was believable.
Yeah.
And as far as it not being believable, Rey Mysterio beat Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? Like,
Ray's out being since WCW. Ray's been considered the giant killer.
Right, Rey Mysterio beat Kevin Nash.
Not to mention Paul White
before he got big, like when he was still a pretty regular sized guy.
Yeah.
One man gang.
I remember that match.
One man gang lost to Ted DiBiase. If you want to go back further than that. So the idea of an underdog.
When was that?
Oh, back in Mid South. He
That's
beat,
what I thought. I thought it was in Mid South.
Yeah. So if you want to look at that, if you want to say that it's unbelievable, wrestling is a story of unbelievable victories. Like it happens all the time. It's one of the best stories in wrestling is the underdog coming up and getting the win. So I say intergender wrestling, like I think it's coming to WWE finally, and I'm all for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Here, if I could give my 2 cents on it, right? I would much rather intergender than just having the women just beat the crap out of security guards.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I always thought it to be the most cringy. And now you have JD McDonough getting folded up, Carlito getting folded up every week by Rhea. And I'm like, just we're talking about equality. We're talking about all this and that. Like, actually give them a match where a human being is facing another adult human being. Like, do it.
Rhea and Damian Priest already have a finisher.
Yeah, they do.
Headbutt into the choke slam. I mean, they've got a finisher, dude. Like, they might as well start wrestling real tag teams.
Yeah, it's always been a WWE trope, though.
Yeah,
Rhea on not this past Monday, but the week before. I was watching and Rhea legit beat the hell out of Judgment Day, like all of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But they're small, so
when she was limping, when she came out with the crutch, she legit beat the hell out of all of them.
Yeah, everybody's small but Carlito. He's a pretty big guy. But the other members of Judgment Day are all tiny.
I mean,
can you bother a sidekick?
I'm not gonna lie, I am upset about how they're doing Carlito. I wish he went with Damian Priest than just becoming the lackey of lackeys.
He's not even funny anymore. He's not even funny anymore. They don't even give him his moments anymore. He's just there to like jump people and then take bumps. Like that's it.
Well,
he's not
in the original Judgment Day, that's what Dom did.
Yeah,
he got his ass whooped, and then
Dom's personality still came through though.
Yeah,
he still got to cut promos and still got to say this new Judgment Day. When they do promos, 3 people talk, and one of them is Finn Balor for a long freaking time. The other 2 are Liv and Dom a little bit.
And they don't let Carlito do shit.
Yeah, Carlito doesn't, and JD. I mean, they just stand there.
Yeah.
Well, he's there to take bumps.
In a black t-shirt. In a black freaking t-shirt, for God's sake. Come on, man.
Not even Judgment Day. Like, just like.
Yeah. Not even a Carlito t-shirt. A black freaking t-shirt. He's just.
Yeah. Like, what was so bad about making Damian and Carlito a tag team and just they're 2 Puerto Ricans?
Yeah.
Let them work together. Like he
Mhm.
Yeah.
brought him in the same way
Right.
Finn brought JD and Damian brought Carlito in, did he not?
I didn't think it
Right.
made any sense for Carlito to stay with them. That was really weird. Other
Yeah.
than the
Yeah.
fact
Oh,
that I
and
guess he
yeah.
wanted to be in Judgment Day and they were the Judgment Day that was going to let
Mhm.
him in. But
No, you know why though? It's because they do wanted to do the Terror Twins. That's why. They
of
wouldn't have been
course,
able to
yeah.
do that name
Well, I'm
if
talking about
Yeah.
Carlito was
storyline
there.
wise, it didn't make sense, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not talking about, like, I
Yeah.
get the
I
idea
think
of Rita and Damian Priest as
I
the
think
tag
his
team.
addition was his addition itself was a mistake.
Yeah, it may have
That coming
been.
from a big
I
Carlito
Yeah.
think
fan, like
so.
his
I mean,
addition,
I don't
period.
disagree with you.
Yeah,
It added nothing. It just added another person for them to beat up.
right,
That's it.
right,
Another person to take L's. I imagine he's like 3-40 at this point.
right.
If he even gets a match,
Yeah,
like
for sure. Yeah, most of the time he doesn't even get to wrestle. He just gets beat
Nope.
up.
Yeah, it just gets beat
mhm.
up and sent back
Yeah,
to the back.
yeah.
Jobber.
Exactly. I am liking this PWI 500. It's funny because my brother was never really that big of a wrestling fan like I was, but he's going back and he's like, oh my goodness, this CM Punk John Cena thing.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen this? And I was like, yes, of
Well,
course.
yeah,
Of course
yeah,
I have.
saw it
And
when it
I'm
happened.
putting him on to other people. Like I'm putting him on to MJF and I'm putting him on to like because
Nice.
he showed me last year's list and he was like, oh, was this a correct list? I was like, at the time, yeah, Roman Reigns was number one,
Which
like
should have never happened.
Speaking
Cody.
speaking of
He was the biggest in the world. But yeah. What's up?
Biggest something, but
speaking
not.
of MJF,
Mhm.
we going to cover any AEW news?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
kind of wondering the
I
same
would like
thing.
to.
So, gentlemen, I am going to have to bid adieu.
All right.
Like Pablo cutting out a little early last time, I'm gonna have to cut out a little early this time.
All
So
right.
this has been fun. I'm glad I got to get in the NXT stuff and the intergender stuff because that was kind of
Mhm.
what I really
Yeah.
wanted to talk about this week.
Well, nice.
But I'll be
And yeah,
back next week.
nice. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
be good.
AEW now and figure
Cool.
we'll do it from there and end it from there. And
All right,
always good to talk to you, brother.
All right, later, guys.
later, brother.
Later. Let's
Doing right there. Dang. Already.
see.
I would
Yes.
contrary to popular belief, I do not mind AEW. I've just been very disappointed, I would say, as far as the
Let's just
direction
say
they've
Tony
taken.
Khan
I'm
is a.
hoping it's on the yeah,
Let's just say
you
Tony
don't
Khan
even
is a
have to finish
blithering
that. But
idiot.
yeah. Yeah. We definitely I wish he didn't have the Vince syndrome where he was just a rabid fanboy trying to make
Right.
a trying to make his best version of WWE. It's just, yeah, you have a lot of money to get these really good stars, but then are they even doing anything on your brand?
Well, they got the right people on the roster. They just don't know how to utilize them because
That's the thing,
storylines
you
are
can.
virtually
Mhm.
non-existent there.
It's the thing with with sports teams and all of that. You can have all these great players, you can have all these Hall of Fame players, but do they work together?
Right.
Does it make sense? Are you
All
are you
right,
matching them up to make them strong? But yeah,
I
if you
know.
can talk about Rampage and whichever.
All right, well, I watched both. Um, let's see. Anybody can cut it anytime they want. I don't have a very good memory. Either that or I fell asleep like I do with TNA, one of the two.
Is it Rampage you're talking about or a
We
collision
could do
or
either.
Let's see some dynamite.
You want
yes.
to do Dynamite from Wednesday?
Yeah.
All right,
It's the
let's.
bigger show.
Okay. Or do you want to do? Wait, there was no collision. All right, because it was Friday night. All right, let's do Dynamite.
Yeah. And it's are you gonna start it off with the best iteration of Christian Cage we've ever had? The strongest. He is doing his best work.
Cage.
Hot take, cold take. Christian Cage is doing his best work right now. Going for the
Most
title right now.
definitely. Most
Oh,
definitely.
He's
yeah.
amazing.
Now I'll tell you straight up from from a fan standpoint, I hate Christian. I can't stand him. But
Mhm.
as far as wrestling goes, and as far as his career goes, and where he is, he's definitely doing his best work.
Oh yeah,
Some of
great
the
heel.
best, some of the best heel stuff I've ever seen.
Did you hear what he said about Daniel Bryan? Oh my
Uh,
goodness, the promo he cut on him. Oh my goodness.
I don't believe so. Refresh my
He said,
memory.
"I'm go." He said to Daniel Bryan, he said, "I'm going to." I might be paraphrasing, but he's like, "I'm gonna beat you so bad, you're gonna wish Brie had CTE so she wouldn't
Oh yeah, yeah,
remember."
yeah, 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 yeah. I do remember that. That was nasty,
My,
dude.
that's nasty work. But he's been doing that. He talks about people's dead fathers and
Yep.
like he's it's the patriarchy. But
Hmm.
he's amazing. He's like anti Chris Jericho right now, and it's beautiful. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the day they face each other. But
Well, he's always
wow,
had the
he's
charisma to cut really good promos for one.
mhm.
Uh,
He's believable now. Like he looks good.
yeah,
He looks good in the suit. Like even when he was that heel back in the day in TNA and all that, I still never
right,
saw him as believable. That's why he was never really a champion in WWE.
Yeah.
right.
He was ECW champion, I think, once, but like he was never really seen as that guy. But like I can see him as that guy now
Hmm.
with those
Yeah,
his
he's definitely put
pretentious
in his
father
time.
figure. Oh,
Yep.
he grew into himself so well. He's between those three, Edge, Chris Jericho, and Christian, I think he's doing his best work in his 40s, early, maybe
Yeah.
even late
Have to
40s at this
agree.
point. And that's all him. It's not AEW doing it. It's all him. He's going into business and he's just selling it. He's doing well. But carry on with the results if you'd like. I don't want to usurp. I'm just such a mark.
Yeah, we know. We can tell, especially for TNA,
Hey man,
which is absolute garbage. By the way, let me just reiterate that.
I'll die on that hill. It's it's a close third
I
to
can
Well,
AEW.
look.
So
I've always had a soft spot in my heart for TNA forever.
I don't know
So
why.
it's
I
hard for me
mean,
to see the four corners in TNA though. It looks so weird. The four corner
yeah,
rings.
yeah,
It looks so weird.
I always liked the six-sided rings. I was pissed when Hogan got rid of it.
yeah. That's what made him so
Mhm.
special.
I
Yeah,
mean
exactly.
that's one thing that made them dynamic was the six-sided ring back when TNA was good.
Yep.
Hey, I think it's still good.
I
I
think
like it.
I think y'all need to
Yeah.
stop. I think y'all need to stop smoking and something you're not
I'm gonna keep
sharing.
smoking it. I'm gonna smoke that TNA pack all day.
You better
Smoking on that
you
Muscle Buster, that Jordan
you better
Grace.
quit because it's
Knockout division
garbage.
is better. Knockout division is better than anything the other companies are doing in the
Uh,
women's division.
no,
Shoot me if I'm shoot me if I'm wrong, and I
if I
have no
And
could through
it,
this
evidence.
screen, I would.
I think the NXT women's roster may be one of the best in the business.
Oh, they've taken a big leap
Yeah.
recently, yes. But I will always, considering how, like we were talking about, how they made Trinity look like a world beater, Deonna
Yep.
Purrazzo look good. They're even making Dana Brooke look good in my eyes. They're gonna do it good for Heather Reckless.
Now
They're going to
Hmm.
they're
this is
gonna do
gonna
well.
sound stupid. I didn't even know that was Dana Brooks.
Oh, Ash Balliget. Well, it's
Yeah,
unless you like really look at her, like you can really tell.
Yes,
I
she
I
looks a
had to
lot
look into
different.
her. Yeah, she does. Oh, so much. She's slimmed down. She's not nearly as bulky as she was. Like,
Right.
well, her rest in peace, her bodybuilder boyfriend had died. So I think a lot of that might, she took some time off because she
Yeah.
was grieving but I do like the fact that she's come back and, she's doing something for herself. It's a little too close for the Tony Storm gimmick though, but I mean, she's doing well.
that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Chad.
Ooh, yes. Could you talk about the Leo Rush match with Jack Perry? Because I'm a Leo Rush fan.
Oh, that match was off the chain.
Nice.
I really like that match, and I'm not when he was the mouthpiece for Bobby, I was not
Mhm.
a fan. But since he started
Yeah.
wrestling, as you said about Cornball, I've come around.
Mhm. Oh no, yeah, man. Leo Rush is solid when he was in 205 Live or whatever they called it back then. He was good too, but why was he with Action Andretti? That's
I
weird.
have no idea. What I've
Yeah,
noticed
I'm
lately
reading
with
the
AEW is um they do a lot of things on the fly and they have no reason for it whatsoever.
yeah,
Like
no,
this whole
I do see that.
like this whole thing with with Brian and the BCC. They just added Pac in
Mhm.
there as a trios champ
Yeah.
and without saying a word.
Hmm.
And Mox did what he did with the plastic bag after All Out, and now
That was rough.
Yeah.
that was nasty. Where I mean,
You know what?
he had to legit have oxygen, dude. Like
My goodness.
they legit had the oxygen tank there at ringside for that whole thing.
You know what's ironic about that?
Hmm.
Think about who he did it on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did it on the guy who got fired for choking Justin Gabriel with his own tie.
yeah.
He
Did do
put a
you do you
plastic bag on his face. What the
did
heck?
you did you guys hear when and I can't remember who did it when somebody made a reference to that on Dynamite
Oh, about Danielson doing the choking?
with the tie?
Yeah, I think so.
They made it. I was really surprised that they made a reference to that.
Well, they really like to teeter the line between like,
Yeah,
crossing the line as far
but
as going into certain things from
and and
WWE,
then and then
past stuff.
and then another thing that I don't really understand is this whole Nigel and Brian match. I mean, I know that there's legit heat with those two.
Well,
However,
you know
why
what it
not?
is. It's reliving the one of the greatest ROH rivalries of all time.
Yeah, but why not have it on a
And
pay-per-view? Why have it on a Dynamite? He does that a lot.
that that part I agree with though, because it's in New York also, which is
He
interesting. It's going to
I
be
mean
in New
he
York, Nigel against Daniel,
yeah, a
Brian
grand
Danielson.
slam. But it's still
Yeah.
just a Dynamite. Do it on Wrestle Dream or do it on a pay-per-view. I mean, hell, do it on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view if anything.
Mhm.
If you
Well,
Uh,
I
want
guess they do
to.
want to bring some. They want to bring some eyes to Grand Slam and give it people a reason to actually care.
my
But see,
problem
And all the what's up?
my problem with some of what they're doing in AEW is they bring people in and then they straight bury them.
well, WWE does that shit too.
Well, yeah, but WWE's got a weird way of doing it. Like, with no storyline, it's kind of like, oh, we're just going to bury this guy. We come in. Look at poor Ricochet. He come in to AEW and has been buried since the moment he stepped foot.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
But I
Oh.
mean, if you look at it, when Cody went into WWE, he got buried before anything, and then same thing with AJ back in 16.
Well, it's punishment. That's really what it is. It's
Exactly.
oh, you
Mm-hmm.
That's
thought
just like that. That's just like back in the day when Vince took over WCW and he wanted to put WCW out of business, and when he brought people in from WCW, they had to start at the bottom, and they were at the bottom forever.
but
Right.
that's the thing that messes with me with the TNA thing, where people go to TNA to look strong, and then they're sending the TNA people to NXT,
Yeah.
and like it's
But
kind
see,
of
the thing,
it's showing you, oh, this is like the D3 or like the AAA to your MLB, and
Right.
they
yeah,
recognize it, but it doesn't make your company look better doing that,
No.
admitting
I
you're
mean
like second
that's
class.
a lot of people think that with TNA and NXT doing this crossover
Mhm.
that it will get NXT fans' eyes on TNA and vice versa.
It's
And
working.
it works.
But it also does make TNA seem less like a competitor and more like their D league. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like their minor league. And I would love to see a TNA person on WWE TV. Obviously, they're going to lose, but
Oh, of
it'd
course.
be it'd be cooler. It'd be cooler than just sending them to NXT. But I get why they're doing it though.
I
It is
mean,
helping
for the
both of their
last couple of
ratings.
years, they put Jordan Grace on the Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Mickey
mean,
and
James.
they're also
I
Trinity.
mean, they they only put Mickey James on there as an apology for putting all of her stuff in a garbage bag.
Yeah.
And she went there with the title too. So
Yeah,
that was
with
the
the
She
second
title.
did.
time somebody went
She
with the
she
title
had
on
she had the TNA
on
title
soil.
on when she was going down to the ring.
Yep. Sure did.
Can I
All
ask you a
right.
question?
Me
The
or
people that have watched AEW, did they already ruin Ricochet by letting him speak?
Yes. Yeah. They cut a
Crap.
promo backstage
With Osprey,
with
right?
him with Osprey, and it was absolute garbage trash. He
Because he was trying to respond to Will Ospreay. He's like, yeah, yeah,
he's not wrong.
yeah.
we'll see. I'm like,
Yeah, he's
just
not wrong. It was garbage.
don't let him speak. Just be a world beater. Don't let him speak. I
Who
see him
cares?
being part of the Hurt Syndicate. I do.
That would be awesome because
Mm.
Ricochet is great in ring. I mean, absolutely
Him and
fantastic.
Shelton Benjamin would be good as tags. Him and
But
I
when
think
kind of the
he,
no.
same
See,
way
I think
Alexander.
they need to.
oh yeah,
I think they need to
Mm.
bring Cedric back in.
I say
Well,
they
Cedric's in
will.
NXT right now, I believe.
I say they
Is he
will
really?
whenever he's released.
Probably, yeah. Well, yeah, because Cedric's been making appearances in the corner of what was it, Oro Mensa?
Mm-hmm. I believe you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they were feuding for a little bit. Now I guess they're buddies now. But yeah, if they don't get Cedric, maybe Ricochet could be somebody where will help you out. Obviously, it's written in the stars that him and Ricochet and Osprey are, they're the indie gods. They're gonna fight each other,
yeah.
and then
Wait,
Ricochet against Swerve,
I
maybe.
thought Cardona was the indie guy supposedly.
No, no, he is the self-proclaimed indie god. But if we're talking
Oh,
about
okay.
the people that have been everywhere, like Ricochet was
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, he
HOG,
was.
MLW, PWG, like new everywhere. Same thing with Will Ospreay. Same thing with Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Swerve. I seen Swerve and HOG, PWG, every single place you can think you could see Swerve Strickland. But yeah, that is a shame that you bring somebody like that amazing and you don't
I
you
don't
don't
know.
set
I
them
don't
up for
know.
success.
I don't know if you call it burying or if you call it working your way up from the bottom. But either way, at some point
Mhm.
Ricochet is gonna start winning because I love Ricochet. Like for instance, when Ricochet was tagging with Malachi, I really thought they would be good as tag champions.
Yeah.
I was really
Uh,
surprised that they didn't win the belts. I thought they were really good together.
yeah, I thought so too. Uh, but then,
Yeah,
you know, uh, there's those spots where you know he. I was really mad whenever Malachi Black got released from WWE to begin with when
yeah.
he was, you know,
I think
Just
he
the
asked for his release because he got tired of tired of the backstage politics or whatever.
yeah, over his tattoos and stuff. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's why.
probably yeah.
That's
Probably
Oh, a
the
lot
stuff
of
with
it.
stupid.
Zelina too. Zelina as
Yeah,
well, most
Zelina.
likely.
Yep.
That's
They were,
stupid.
he wasn't allowed to travel overseas with them too much whenever they went to India, which at the time
Hmm.
he was a big part of the spotlight in what was going on
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw
I
and
would say so, yeah.
SmackDown, and
Well, I mean
he couldn't travel.
that's just like the Usos. The Usos and Fatu can't travel internationally, and if I remember correctly, I think
Because of criminal
I've heard
record, yeah.
of
Hmm.
Fatu has a criminal record for burglary, and they had to do a lot of talking to get him into Canada.
Oh no, he was in him and Zilla were both like in jail at one point, and then they
Hmm.
decided that they were going to turn their lives around, and
Yeah. But
Jacob
WWE had to do a
amazing.
lot of talking to get Fatu into Canada for the last time they were there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jacob
I don't
spent a
know if
lot of
that was
time
the
wrestling in
worst
New
or
York.
yeah.
But
He wrestled for Court for a long time for MLW.
What's
Mhm.
the? Can we just try to get the high spots from AEW?
Are
Yeah.
there any?
Well, I mean, probably just like what's going on between Moxley and them. That's probably the one thing that
I
really
think what
Well,
was it?
intrigues
let's
people.
see.
Moxley and Darby was what
I
happened
will
that
tell
night.
you this. I'll tell you this. I will be really, really, to be nice, not happy if they put Mox over Darby for the title
To fight
shots.
Brian Danielson.
Yeah. Darby was
Well,
supposed to wrestle Darby was supposed to wrestle Bryan at Grand
mhm.
Slam, but obviously now that can't happen. Or it
Right.
wasn't supposed to happen until Nigel came in and said that they were wrestling. But now Mox
It'll
is
definitely be him and
wrestling.
Mox.
Now Moxley and Darby are gonna wrestle
Yeah,
for
he's
Darby's
doing
title
a
shot.
he's doing a
Yeah.
Miz Otis type thing where he's like,
Yeah.
"All right, we're gonna fight for the right to be
But
next."
but
But
I
I do
think
kind of
they
like this Moxley
I
angle though.
still think
I think I do.
they need to let Darby go over. But it won't happen, I
He's
don't
gone over
think.
so many times though. I think Darby
Yeah, but
doesn't lose anything by losing.
no,
It's
but
like
neither
Pac
does Mox. You
or
got no
Pac.
job, Mox.
Oh no, Mox needs to stay strong. He needs to stay looking strong.
Yeah.
He's not a part of the trios title, so he hasn't actually had anything at all.
Mm-mm.
Like he's been pretty much forgotten a little bit.
Well, well, if he didn't have to go home and rehab, then maybe he would have done something.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's
So
right if you put
otherwise,
if you put Mox over Darby for the title shot. I think Darby earned it. Darby should keep it.
well, considering what he lost to Jack Perry in a coffin match, didn't he? Recently. So he got his win. He got his win back, but I think for the story to be better, it should be Mox against Danielson after.
Well,
Just kind of wondering how
yeah.
they're going to make this Nigel McGuinness match look like. What the purpose is even going to be
Yeah, it's
aside
been a
from
minute since
nostalgia.
he's. Yeah, because it's been a minute
Well,
since
yeah,
he's even been in ring.
Oh
he's
yeah.
had Hep C forever.
Mm. Oh God, yeah.
That's why
Another
that's why I'm surprised
high.
they're letting him in the ring, even though he's
Mhm.
supposedly
Well, they
cured.
got cures for that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one of the high moments is that the con conglom conglomeration, Mark Briscoe and Kyle O'Reilly, they dumped coins on. It said $7,000 worth of coins on into Jericho's Bentley,
Yep.
and the fans chanted, "Keep the change, keep the change."
Yeah, that
That was
was
That's
funny.
funny.
awesome.
I'd like this to be Jericho's way of getting the ROH title.
Yeah, yeah.
His whole gimmick was I've held every title. So
He's already held the
hasn't he already?
ROH
Didn't
title.
he already? Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't he
Yeah.
win it like
Yeah,
a few years
he
ago?
already had the title.
I'm just waiting for Jericho to go back to WWE and finish out his career.
I think before he does that, he has to fight Christian
I don't know.
for the three on threes.
Jericho said he was never going back to WWE.
I've read other reports that said otherwise.
Really?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see.
I've read something not too long ago actually that said that he would like to actually finish up there.
Oh, here's something interesting also. Not to take from the AEW result, but this is an AEW result. The unlikely tag team of half of Aussie Open and Will Ospreay at Grand Slam facing the Young Bucks for the titles.
Ooh.
Double champ?
Ooh.
I was
Maybe.
thinking the same thing.
Double champ.
Who was Aussie Open?
Well, it's Kyle
Wasn't it
Fletcher
Cobbs?
and what was the other guys?
Osprey.
Why am I so? No, it was Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis, I think his name is. He's hurt.
Yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, and now
Yeah, Kyle
he's
Fletcher and Osprey. I was thinking double champ too.
yeah. Well, isn't he part of the Don? Aren't they both part of the Don Callis family?
Well, apparent what happened on Wednesday was they did a backstage segment and apparently Callis letting Osprey out of the family was a favor. So part of Osprey returning the favor was him tagging
Fletcher.
with Fletcher and for
Okay.
that match and they won.
What a great that tag team casino gauntlet. Such
Yeah.
good names
And
were in that, you know.
I suppose part of the reason why they won that match is because every casino that Will has been in, he's won. He's not lost one.
How many has Will Ospreay been in?
I don't know, but I can't tell you how many times Excalibur said that Will Ospreay has never lost a casino battle royal,
Interesting.
whether he's been in
Well, I
one
think
or
that's how he
he's
made his
been in
debut,
10.
I suppose. Yeah. So for the most part, yeah, that tag team casino gauntlet, the upcoming feud with Briscoe and Jericho, seemingly,
Yeah.
you know, Moxley facing Darby Allin. I'd say those are the highlights of AEW. So
I'm still flabbergasted that over the plastic bag over the head thing.
it was a
That
bad
was
look. It
crazy.
was
I mean,
overly
honestly, honestly,
violent.
if you're trying to get a TV deal, that's not something that you do.
No.
That's like the thing with the NWA on CW, which is how
It's
NXT
yeah,
moved in.
it's literal attempted
Hmm.
murder. Like
Yeah.
there's no
Yes,
you can't
on
even
live
hide that
TV.
fact. Oh, it was a prop. It was like no, that's literally attempted
Yeah.
murder on live TV. And a kid. Obviously, they say do not try this at home, but what if a kid just like puts
All
it
right.
over another kid's head, and pretends?
I think think it's about time to wrap up.
Yeah.
Wrapped
Uh.
up on the AEW.
Yep. All right. So let's get right into some. I think I'll do SmackDown first. We're just going to hit the focal points. On
Thank you
what
for the
happened.
AEW talk. But yes.
Yes, it was good.
Yeah, the AEW was good. Now let's get to SmackDown because aren't we supposed to stay under 2 hours?
Yeah, we're over that now. Let's see. SmackDown was kind of
Close.
short
Yeah.
this week. Uh, you had Mishin versus Piper Niven to kick it off. Uh, Mishin won. So it was
Okay.
okay match. Little slow. Cool
They're
part.
pushing her.
Yeah, starting to a little bit. Yeah. Uh,
Who, me Chin?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're starting to push her a little bit. I haven't seen SmackDown
Because her
yet from
against
this
Nia.
week, but
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Orton ended up being the mystery partner for Kevin Owens against A Town Down. So we already know the outcome of that. That's who's going
yeah,
to win that match.
A
Hands
Town Down
down.
Yeah.
lost, I would assume.
Oh yeah, they lost bad.
Good.
And then they had their spot with Nia Jax challenge Bailey and Naomi to a tag team match for next week. Anything with Nia is kind of boring.
So let me guess. Tiffany is going to be Nia's partner.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
Iffy
that's going.
time.
Yeah, that is the only thing keeping Nia afloat right now is Tiffany Stratton.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
By
That
the
I
way,
agree with.
real quick. Pride of Prior Lake, Minnesota. I was just there yesterday for their Chalk Fest. Shout out to Prior Lake, Minnesota, Tiffany Stratton's hometown.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Andrade
Great
defeated
place.
Carmelo Hayes. Then LA Knight
Yes.
came out told him, said, "Hey, you're the next challenger for my title." That pretty much summed up most of SmackDown. Now, the cool part of SmackDown was Roman Reigns did make his return to SmackDown, and then the impromptu match at the end. Well, really wasn't the match, but you got Cody Rhodes signing the contract to tag with Roman Reigns at Bad Blood.
Mhm. Yeah, I saw that part. They were kind of hinting that they wouldn't, and Cody and Roman had a bit of a heated exchange back and forth where they were like, he was like, where Roman's like, this is my WWE,
Yeah.
Not only am I the original tribal chief, I'm the only tribal chief. But then Cody was like, this was until I beat you. But a little ego hit. But yeah,
Oh,
when
yeah.
when Solo and Jacob came out, Jacob back behind him with his arms crossed,
Yes.
or his hands together like that. What a Jacob! I want him to be a champion so bad.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like, Jacob is just he's so talented, and
Everybody knows that.
he's better than 3/4 of that roster on any
Well,
show.
he's obviously the best one in the bloodline.
Yeah.
Being honest, because Tongalo is really dropping the ball.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Solo's still unbelievable to me as far as like if he's good enough, and I don't really think he is.
I don't either.
He doesn't even look like he was the enforcer, but he has an enforcer. Like the enforcer needed an enforcer.
Yeah.
That just shows you how
Like,
badass he is, Jacob Fatu.
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, SmackDown was a decent show. They kicked it off with new theme and new introduction video, so it wasn't bad, but it could have been a lot better.
Was it the fourth time Andrade and Carmelo fought?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting a little repetitious with their matches over there.
That's the thing I don't like, the repetitiveness. Like,
Yeah.
okay, how many times are the Creed brothers gonna fight? Can we quickly mention that street fight?
Oh,
Do you remember what I'm talking about from Raw?
with the Wyatt Six? Yeah, I was
I
getting ready to hit on that.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that
an
yet. What
American Made.
happened?
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
So the match was absolutely incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was all. If it's not a 5-star, it should be considered one.
Best street fight I've seen, I would say.
Yeah.
They did a good job having like so many different moving pieces, but actually like making it like a
I
good
don't know.
production.
Yeah.
I was told that one of the best matches on All Out was a street fight with Statlander and Willow. I wonder if it was better than that.
I don't know. That match was pretty good. But it was pretty good for a 6-man tag.
It was like an 8-man tag, no?
8-man tag.
It was an 8-man.
Cross and Ivy Nile also.
Yeah, because the girls got into so 8-man tag was just it was really good. But the Y6 did defeat American Made.
Good.
And cool finisher by Dexter to finish off Chad Gable.
I'm happy that Dexter got the win because I'm being one of the biggest Dexter Lumis's fans.
Yes, I like Dexter a lot too. I'm glad that they found something for him to do that gives him some purpose.
Me too. Same with Nikki Cross. Exactly. I got tired of that Nikki ASH crap.
Yeah. Finn Balor and Damian Priest agreed to a match at Bad Blood.
Okay.
1-on-1, right?
Bad Blood.
Yes, that's a 1-on-1 match. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll never be a 1-on-1.
No, not with Judgment Day out there. It won't be.
Yeah, exactly.
Women's Tag Team Championship match: Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair defeated Unholy Alliance to retain the titles. Again, not really surprised there. Yeah. Bret the Hitman Hart made his return to Raw.
Ooh.
Him and Sami Zayn cut a promo out there, and then Gunther came out as well.
Oh my goodness. Gunther coming out and saying that his favorite wrestler was Bill Goldberg was hilarious.
Yes.
Did you see that meme? Did you see that meme that was on Facebook? I saw Gunther and Bret Hart having a mic, and then below was Bill Goldberg.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny shit, dude.
Yeah,
For real.
Gunther was funny, but yeah. It was a good touch to make him and Sami Zayn a little bit more of a legitimate beef.
Yeah.
Yes,
Instead of I beat you, you fight me.
yeah. Well, that match is gonna be really good. And I hope that they build it up a little bit more before they. Yeah. Next match was Dominic Mysterio defeating Dragon Lee via pinfall.
That's crazy. Dragon Lee should have beat Dominic. That's crazy.
No, Dominic should not be getting any wins.
No. Dom should not be winning any matches right now.
Just ew.
No.
Just ew.
He should be taking L's all the time. Besides, Dragon Lee is a better wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next match I have really no interest in at all. It's horrible. It was
Lyra and Lyra.
Nice lead up. Nice lead up, bro.
yeah. Well, it's one of those things. The Pure Fusion Collective. So they tried to make this team to be some badass team, right? And they have absolutely only won one match. They've lost every single match. So how are you going to bring these girls?
They're not great.
Out here?
Oh, it's
they
Shayna. Suck. It's Shayna, Zoe Stark, and Sonya, who
I can't stand them.
I can't stand Sonya.
They're horrible. All three
they
girls are horrible.
I don't know why.
It was fan service.
I don't know why they're pushing Sonya.
They shouldn't be pushing Sonya.
I don't know either.
If any of those girls, they should only be out of that group. The only one they should be pushing is Zoe Stark.
Zoe,
I agree.
Yeah, because she's younger and she has she has been on the roster the entire year, unlike the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Like Shayna was bouncing back and forth to NXT, lost to Lola Vice.
Yeah. Yep.
Like in a street fight. But this was all fan service just so Natalya would get a win because she was the mystery partner.
Yep. I figured it too. I called it whenever before she came out. I was like, it's gonna be Natalya. They're in Canada.
Yep.
Anybody who's watched wrestling for more than like 10 years knows that they're gonna give a rub to the. But I still can't get over that Hitman Gunther.
Yeah, my favorite wrestler is Bill Goldberg. Love it.
Gunther got himself over on that, saying, "Oh, I heard you were the best there was."
Yeah.
But I'm the best there is, and the best there ever will be. So it was nice. It was good stuff.
I haven't seen it yet. That just gave me something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you did. I will say that we did call who would win the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yep, Jay.
Or for number one contender.
Yeah, Jay.
Yep, Jay. So
we all know. He's too hot right now.
Oh, for sure. He's probably one of the biggest people. Well, one of the biggest wrestlers right now who's probably got over more than anyone in the company. He has been.
He's got a high. He had a high rating this year in the PWI for good reason.
He's been absolutely sensational.
Who was number one
week after week? Oh, already. It was American Nightmare, I believe.
Yeah.
Adam Pearce announced for the Drew McIntyre CM Punk match at Bad Blood.
Hell in the Cell, right?
We know. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be.
Punk's winning, right?
I say so.
I hope so.
Punk's got to win because Drew has been dragging this out for way too long.
Yes. I'm sorry, but Drew.
He's got to go to bigger, better
this might make Pablo a little upset, but Drew is not good. Drew Galloway is not good. Drew McIntyre, Drew Galloway.
Okay, I've been waiting for a chance to let you guys know that I was back, and I think this is a good enough time. Chad, you're insane.
Defend this.
No.
You flamed this man.
No. Dude. Drew what bad matches has Drew had?
Oh, my
You
wife
know?
would be mad hearing you say that.
Man,
My
I mean, yeah, Drew McIntyre is one of the best wrestlers in the freaking world.
Had a
Now
great.
I'm gonna tell you what I told Pablo about TNA and what people need to tell RVD. You've been smoking something you're not sharing.
RVD was at the Raw, by the
I
way.
saw that. Yeah.
Hmm.
What this past Raw with Bret Hart?
Him and
Yeah.
Vicky Guerrero were there.
Nice.
Yep.
Did you see that meme I saw on Twitter last night? It said Vicky Guerrero on SmackDown, and all she was yelling was "Excuse me" in the front row.
Excuse me. Oh
It
my
was pretty
goodness.
dope.
That's
No,
insane.
thank you.
Um,
But I think Drew's
What?
good. I think Drew is very good.
I
but
agree.
yeah, I
Drew
mean, Chad.
McIntyre
So,
is.
Chad, here's the thing: you say that Drew McIntyre is not good, right? What match have you seen of his that made you think he wasn't good? And don't say all of them.
Because I'll tell you my point. The man hasn't
Yeah.
had a bad match
Yeah,
since he left WWE the first time.
right. And honestly, he
Ooh.
wasn't having very many bad matches before he left.
I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest, why did he get fired in the first place after when he was in 3MB?
I really don't know. They were
Well,
just
he was
releasing people,
he
I
was a
think, and they just
small
didn't have
guy.
anything for him. Yeah. And
Yeah,
now
he was
he's
small.
a freaking monster.
He did it the right way. He came up.
He did exactly what he needed to do to get back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He upped his intensity. He freaking put on a bunch of mass.
Yep.
And now not only is he, 6'3", he's 6'3" and he weighs 270 freaking pounds
Yeah,
of
270.
solid
He
muscle.
matured. He
Yeah.
matured
Yes.
into what we always wanted him to be because
That-
not
well,
everybody's
he
on
reached his
everybody's
potential.
timeline. Yeah,
Yeah.
not everybody's on the same timeline. Not everybody can be, Brock Lesnar straight out college.
Right. But yeah,
Except for
he
Brock
I
Lesnar's
think he's
daughter.
good.
That girl's she
Oh,
big
no.
girl.
yeah. She's a freak athlete, man.
Yeah.
Who?
Hey,
Brock
shout out
Lesnar's
to
daughter. Yeah.
shout out because I used to live in the same town as them, and I
Nice.
remember her from she went to high school over there. She broke some records in shot putting over there.
Right.
Speaking, I never got to
But
do
she's
this from
shout
when
out
we
to
did the
Alexandria,
TNA.
Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I never got to do this when we talk about TNA, but I figured, what the hell? Shout out to Court and MLW for giving us Jacob Fatu.
Man.
Shout out HOG
Shout out to
for making him a
Rikishi.
monster.
and
Yeah.
Hammerstone.
Yeah. Shout out to
Yeah.
Rikishi for freaking creating that monster. He's
Yeah.
Rikishi's
I
kid,
heard,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
heard a
what,
rumor that Rikishi's the next wise man for Solo.
That's what I heard
right
too.
on.
Really?
That would be cool. He
But
can teach him how
also-
to dance.
I
But
also heard
Rikishi said he didn't want to do it because he doesn't want he doesn't want to go back on the road. He doesn't want to travel.
well, I heard that that Paul Heyman was gonna come back and turn on Roman and go with Solo,
Really?
and then Rikishi was supposed to take over and then bring in
The Usos?
The Usos.
I don't know, dude. All of that story stuff, like all of that story stuff that gets leaked and spread around, I always just figure it's just fan booking until
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's what
Exactly.
I think too, Pete.
Because who knows?
I think the same thing.
Yep.
Also,
So-
Rikishi's pretty upset at WWE right now because of the old Jey Uso Rhea Ripley angle. Apparently, he's been
Is he
going
mad
off
Yeah,
about
he
it?
wasn't happy. Yeah, he wasn't
He's
He's
happy.
going
like,
off
Jey
of X
is
talking
married.
about he's married. Like leave them alone. Don't try to throw a wrench into a happy family and all of
It's
that.
just acting,
It's
dude.
funny because exactly,
I mean,
the same
I
thing
don't.
with Dom
What
and Rhea.
what is
Yeah.
Jay and Rhea doing?
Oh, Jay
Well,
has a
he's
crush
kind
on
of
Rhea,
showing.
and
Oh.
Rhea kind of thinks that Jay's hot. That's
But we
pretty
all
much
do.
it.
But I mean,
Not the second part, but the first part.
I have a
mean-
crush on Rhea. Yeah.
I mean, that's
Okay.
kind of what's going on. That's kind of what happened with Rhea and Dom when Rhea licked
Well-
his face and fucking Buddy went crazy.
but he didn't go crazy, dude.
No, he didn't. He took a picture laying on her ass on
Yeah,
X saying life is good.
life is good
with a smile
yeah,
on his
dude.
face.
Nobody went crazy.
I didn't
And
think
then Ricochet turned around and did the
Yeah.
same thing.
With Jordan,
Samantha.
with Samantha Irving
Samantha
or who's
Irving,
this
yeah.
girl? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow,
That's
So-
awesome.
But it seems like WWE has a thing about trying to ruin families or break up families or whatever. Not
Dude,
break
that's
them
like
up, but
saying that anytime an actor is in a movie where they're making out with somebody that they're trying to
Yeah.
ruin their family, they're just playing
Like
a
with
role,
the,
man.
like with the
exactly.
Ryan
That's
Reynolds,
what I think.
Blake
I think
Lively
the
thing where
same
they were
thing.
talking about it. They were talking
Yeah.
about seeing each other in romance scenes, and like it's business.
Yeah, who cares? Like
It's
it's
time-
just like remember when Challengers came out and people were like, "Oh, Tom Holland and Zendaya are over because
she
she
had
kissed two guys in a movie." Are you
Dude, it's
freaking
just like-
serious, dude?
he kissed two
just
guys in the
like
last movie,
when,
and he's all right.
It's just like
He's okay with it.
when Dom was doing the thing with mommy with Rhea,
Yeah.
and Ray's wife was in the front row, and and his wife just slapped the piss out of Rhea, I think, or slapped the piss out of Dom, and Ray got in the ring and beat the hell out of Dom and was like, "Don't you ever talk to your mother like that."
Right.
And
Well, because he's the brat kid that grew up rich. That was like,
And then,
I have no manners.
and then they
It's
got
just all- they
and then
probably have a
Dom
good
got on
relationship,
X
though.
and said something about his fiance and getting married and whatnot, and his fiance was getting heated because they are supposedly getting heated because they were doing this thing with Dom and Rhea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was all.
That's all speculation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. None of it's true, man.
There's not much basis
People
to that.
think
Yeah.
this is the thing. Like Rhea is kind of niche. Okay. I mean, a lot of people. I think Rhea's beautiful. I think she's the hottest
I
chick in
agree.
WWE. To be completely
I
honest.
agree.
But
Oh,
there
Gigi's
are.
there, but it's okay.
But Liv appeals to a wider audience.
I can't tell you how many
Yeah.
people tell
So-
me that Liv is hotter than Rhea.
Right.
No.
So there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, if I was Dom, I'd be hitting it." So then they project that onto
Okay.
Dom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Dom has been with
His
his
real life
girlfriend
is
since he
better.
was like, or his wife, I mean, since he was like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they've been
I,
together for damn his whole adult life for sure. You know, it's
I
just
knew-
stupid.
I knew it'd been mad long.
Yeah, he's been with that girl since they were teenagers, man, like young teenagers. He's, it's silly.
Like
It's just silly.
the girl was on
Not
TV.
everybody is Triple H and Stephanie, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
The girl was on TV when they did the I can't remember. Help me out, Preston. When they did the thing in the ring at during COVID, when they did the thing with they had people on the video screens.
Brother, I barely watched wrestling during COVID. I watched WrestleMania, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
When they had the screens at Tropicana Field.
Yeah, I should have watched more of it, but I was really busy at that time. There was a lot of stuff going on in my life.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my point was that Dom was with that girl even
right,
back
and that
then.
yeah, it's been years, dude. It's stupid to think.
The girl was even in the ring with them.
And I'm sure that she gives him plenty of chicken tendies. So I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's fine.
For real.
So
I want chicken
guys,
tendies now.
Word. Who wants to wrap it up? I wrapped it up last week. Somebody else can do it this week.
All right, I'll do it this
Brent?
week.
All right, go
Okay,
for it, brother.
right.
All right. Thank you for listening to Roundtable Wrestling. We'll be back next week. Please give us a like, a follow, and rate if you liked what we talked about. And even if you don't like what we talked about, rate us anyway. Try and give us that 4 or 5 star rating so we can what did you say last week, Keith? So we could get more eyes on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
All right. So like and follow us. We'll be back next week. Thanks for listening. Peace out.